Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Hot D Season 3. Hey, it rhymes. It rhymes. And we have 2 episodes to cover. And I just want to set expectations right away. We're going to kind of speed run, basic comparatively to our last ones, minimizing the Rhaenyra and Alicent scenes, which would actually be just covering one episode at this point because there's so many of them that are just repetitive and really, I will say, strange choices. They've made some strange choices, including deviating from, like, I can't even say deviating from the book. They closed the book, they put it on a shelf, and they are doing their own thing with some stuff. Not that I absolutely love the book, Ryan. This isn't my Fire and Blood is not my favorite read in the world. I've read World of Ice and Fire more.
This has to be a discussion when it comes up because we're talking about an adaptation, but this is not like adapting a fucking normal book.
Yep.
You know, you're taking 3 people's shortened, remembered versions of a historical event that may or may not be accurate. You don't have any you barely have any dialogue. You hardly have any characterization for some people other than he was known as a violent criminal or something. And that's like all you know about this guy. Sometimes you get their skin color, and usually it's not fucking black like we see in the show. And you've got like 30 pages of it. And it's like, this is now 4 seasons of television. It takes place over 20 years. So it's different than a 1-to-1 adaptation.
Yes.
And I think they've done some things good, and I think they've done a lot of things poorly.
Yes. So, interesting. You just let me know, and we'll get to the episode. It is strange that they call it the
Faceless
Men. And then the previous episode was Unbowed, Unbent. So we're doing some Dornish stuff.
Well, I love that it was Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken. And I think that's very indicative of how Kristen Cole feels at the end of episode 5, and considering we got, first of all, a Game of Syvass in a Song of Ice and Fire show in which he's explaining deep cuts of Dornish lore and history, Ormond to Daeron, and then Daeron outwits him as he's complimenting a Dornish woman for outwitting people. But that introduces like the Dornish like vibe, and Kristen Cole, which might have been skipped over in this, is Dornish. So, you know, and this is about the only thing he has left is deciding how he dies. So don't know if it went the way he planned.
Sir Blackpill.
I love Kristen Cole.
Yes.
I have questions with that ambush at the beginning of this episode, but we'll get there.
The latest one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to start out. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. We missed you last week. Sorry I missed it. I suck. I'll just say that. So we have Roddy the Ruin with God, I'm blanking.
Grover Tully.
Grover
is no. This is Oscar.
Oscar.
Whatever fucking Muppet.
So yeah, they're talking about Cole is getting in their way of getting back to King's. It's amazing how quickly some people are able to travel in Westeros, and then these guys are just slow as fuck. So at least they explain it a little bit.
Yeah, the plot point is Kristen Cole and his like the last band of kind of Hightower warriors and stuff. They are intentionally doing everything they can to slow this group down. They're going and burning. They got a smaller group so they can go and burn bridges and all these things to prevent them from getting there to assist. Yeah.
My question about this, right, is that they're trying to say that there's no way to go across this river apart from bridges, which means they're constantly having to march to the next bridge over. And at some point, did no one just figure out that, it'd actually be quicker if we just made rafts and ferry ourselves across than actually hiking another week down the river to find the bridge? And so there's just some practical kind of things that are in the back of my head when I'm watching this.
You're trying to play some fucking Oregon Trail over there, Shad?
I mean, sometimes it's not that hard to cross a river, right? It depends how big it is, how deep, and other things. And I know they got supplies and they got things, but they have so many men, and they're right near these forests. Like, they could even make a really roughshod, just kind of, bridge themselves within a week with that much men. And anyway, so
I don't think that gets thought about a lot here.
Nah, doesn't seem like
it. It doesn't. So Cole invades their camp, sets a bunch of tents on fire, kills.
I just want to say, Shad does sometimes get accused of nitpicking. I'm going to say that never fucking crossed my mind, Shad, that they should stop their entire fucking army and like cut a bunch of trees down to make rafts to get across the fucking like 8-foot river. I thought you were going to say like just kind of ford it, maybe just see what you can do. You know, what, you build rafts, get across. Maybe.
Even a makeshift bridge. They have so many men, men that they could have even just like every single guy grab a bucket and fill in like a mound to kind of, you know. There's historical examples of this. When you get armies large enough and you have that much manpower, it's like, oh no, there's this big fortress on top of a hill mount. How are we going to get there? I know. We'll make a thing called an agar, where all the army just kind of makes an earthen bridge all the way up, because they have manpower. Like when you have that much men, you can solve logistical issues in, you know, things that don't take too much thought. And just like do it the hard way, but we can do it because the manpower.
Is there any like historical example of a castle is on like a big old mountain or of earth and they no hang on, let me ask the question yet.
Right, I thought you talk about
you have a big old army and they decide to like dig a tunnel that goes directly under and fuck with them like that, or
the siege of castle. Oh damn it, I was right on the tip of my thing. I can't remember it now, but no. So it was a castle in northern France where, like they just dig all the way down under near to the castle and undermined the foundations.
Make it
it's
like
called
crumble,
sapping. Yeah, sapping was done regularly enough. And in terms of using an agar, which is a big earthen like hill ramp that they build all the way up on, and they just make like wooden barricades to protect themselves from arrow fire while they're doing it. It was the Roman army that did that. But man, when you have enough power, sometimes like one time the Roman army built literally a wall around a fortress to enclose them in. And so they pulled a fortress around a fortress. And so, like I said, when you have manpower, you can do some crazy things. And this is a large army, a very large army. And so, like I said, there's like practical things that like they're not really addressing. They're just kind of like, oh, this is the issue. Let's just ignore that and keep pretending the issue's there.
There you go. Alice Rivers. She's in Harrenhal still. So we have basically sellswords invading once in a while to find Aemon and kill him. And they find her, and she's able to release the bats of Harrenhal. They get a little spooked. And then he comes out and kills them. And he's still injured, though. So she's trying to keep, she's got him as a kept man. As Mahler said while we were watching it, they're kind of undoing the mystery of Alice Rivers, like quickly. Like
I'm not having anywhere near as much fun with her as I was in season 2. She's
well, because in season 2 you're like, ooh, what exactly, like, what even are you really? And now it's like, oh, it's all very boring now, isn't it? It's all,
I still don't know if we know what she is. Like, she can change into a goat. She has some sort of witch powers. She now wants to, and we knew eventually that this would happen, but she wants to potentially have Targaryen babies with Aemon Targaryen. I don't know what the fuck she is.
Exactly. Like her motivations seem to be inconsistent. She wants to rule Harrenhal. Now she wants to give it to, and now she wants, Targaryen babies. She's got dragon eggs, and it's just it didn't feel like what she was doing with Daemon there was necessarily leading to the same kind of thing, but I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I think she knows she can manipulate Aemon a lot better.
Yeah. Yes. So even Cadell said, and it goes this way in the book, it's supposed to be parallel with what Daemon went through, but kind of an other side of a coin thing, which Kristen Cole's supposed to be there as well. There's supposed to be people at Harrenhal. They aren't alone in the books. So they deviated from that. What's her motivation? Who knows? She's a mysterious woman who's witchy poo and maybe can turn into a goat, which I don't know.
She definitely can turn into a goat.
Did they show that? I can't remember.
Well, maybe she's preserving Harrenhal. We talked about this, Ryan, because of the werewood there, and there might be it might be sacred ground, and it might have something to do with the prophecy. I suppose we'll find out by the end of season 2, because she's a mystery in the book. Like, nobody knows what happens to her. She just kind of disappears from the story. So that means they'll make up some shit. We got Maester Ormond. Basically, Alicent is trying to cover up that Helena is pregnant. She's preggers. So this is a little late in the game for making her pregnant. But they decided somebody said, are they doing this to make up to George? I'm like, no, George ain't gonna be happy with anything he sees in this fucking show. Oh, no way is he gonna be happy.
They devote a lot of screen time to this problem. And
yes.
Will they escape? Will they won't escape? Who's discovering? Who's not discovering it? Now it's discovered. Let's talk about it. And it's a thing ahead. Like it is not that interesting. Yes, this is happening by like around in the. You could address it with 1 or 2 scenes. You don't need to devote so much time to it. It seems like they're purposely doing it because they really want to keep Alicent in the show, and it's just becoming boring and tedious.
It's really obvious at this point that like we are just making up shit to keep her in the show. So we're gonna make Helena pregnant, and then she's gonna get her morning after brew from the Citadel's morning after brew. And now it's like, who's gonna find out?
Yeah, Alicent is trying to give her daughter an abortion.
Yes,
because of the implications of what that would mean if that ends up being a boy. And Helena refuses.
Yep.
In every possible way. These 2 episodes, I've enjoyed the Helena portions of this, mostly because of how reflective it is of how ignored really all the children to some extent have been, but just how fucking mistreated all these children have been. And this is later on, but even her asking, like, was there no one else that wanted me? Is that like, did you want me to marry my brother? Like, all these fucking questions that I feel portrays Alicent in a terrible, horrific light, which I think she deserves to be portrayed in. As a party to all these things. All of her children are fucked up, and the one that she really sent away is trying not to get fucked up by Ormond.
She's a horrible woman. The problem is she's an annoying one in this show, and I have no problem with horrible. But Helena needed to sing, well, Mama Don't Preach by Madonna, because that's the situation. She's keeping her baby. Okay. The olds will know what I'm talking about. So she wants to keep the baby, as Ryan said. And then we have Matt Damon Targaryen dealing with the gold cloaks.
Yeah, that these have the Black Council that is just a horrible substitute petulant for the Green Council.
I miss him.
Damon's just pure fucking disgust that he has to deal with these 2 now.
Damon's like, he's still great. He's still like not a nice person, but he's the only one who's decisive and actually making sense. And he does find, he tells Rhaenyra to basically pull her head, and she doesn't. And she is just looking like more and more of a terrible leader. And so, yeah.
I think, unfortunately, he's catching some strays because of the fact that he is so tethered to her storyline. Unfortunately,
he feels really impotent.
I'm finding that the storylines that I'm the most interested in this show now are essentially the remnants of the Green Council. Essentially, it's Cole's storyline, and then it's Aegon's storyline. Especially now that he's got Lannister as well.
Ormond's all right though.
Yeah, he's funny.
I think they're fantastic. I think, especially now that Gwain's there as well. I
think that helps.
Those are my favorite parts of these, like the season so far, is the Hightower stuff.
Yep.
The fake Darren still makes no fucking sense, but
like now
everything
we know
other
he
than
had
that,
dark hair.
I've really enjoyed.
Question with Rhaenyra's scenes, right? Do you think the scenes are purposefully constructed? Oh, look, the scenes make Rhaenyra look terrible as a leader. Do you think that's intentional, or the writers are actually trying to make her seem sympathetic, that it's not really her fault? She's still just getting swamped with all these problems.
I think there's something that happens in. Yeah, it's probably both. Especially because of what happens in episode 6. It's like, okay, I feels like the show is something's changed now, essentially, in terms of the show's perception of that character. But at the same time, I think there's still very much well, the circumstances were pretty terrible and whatnot. So, it's not like it's all their fault.
Yeah. I think it's both. I think you can show that, yeah, this is someone who's not prepared for this, but also that the pressures and the weight and like the responsibility of all these things are so overwhelming that they do change people and they do stress people. And like part of it is the circumstances and part of it is her. I think
there's a particular line we might say, but there's something that one of the small folk says in that scene that's probably worth talking about to sort of figure out what the show's like. Does the show agree with what he said?
Don't let me forget that, Fringy.
No, I will
bring that. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I'll just Shad. I don't know what the writers are thinking. I'm not going to pretend to know what they're thinking, but all of us warned, don't name your babies after Rhaenyra after season 1.
Why would anybody name?
She's not the Khaleesi. People did it with Daenerys. So don't do it because they're definitely showing her shift. Now, to your question of, is it circumstances or is it her? I believe the writers think it's circumstances. I could be wrong with that belief.
Not with what we saw in in episode 6, Gary, while she was on the throne.
Up until this point, we'll say.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think you could still look at it as it's circumstances, and then she has a breaking point, right?
Yeah. I'm
but that is indicative of you are not worthy of this title.
Oh, totally.
Well, and also,
it finally happened.
There is some more unhinged expressions that because again, I think the show is deteriorating somewhat, so I think it's getting less subtle. And Rhaenyra certainly has some unhinged expressions in episode 6.
And I think I'm more with you on that one, Gary. But I think what's happening is that they want to make this show as feminist as they can, but they're fighting with the source material and what they're supposed to be doing with the characters, which is that's reined them in a little bit. But then there are moments where the feminism really, rears its ugly head. And we saw that in episode 6 in one scene in particular, which I'll point out.
Well, there's the basis of that in the multiple, like this story that Ryan talked about, that's basically a Wikipedia article. Forgive me for repeating, but there might be new people here, is based on 3 little short stories, right? That are kind of mashed together. Not all of it, but some of it. So there is some dialogue and there is some characterization, but with Rhaenyra, I always got the impression, maybe it's wrong, because like I said, I didn't read this book, that she was somewhat in control when she was in King's Landing, like a little bit. Like she has never been like on top of anything since she's been to King's Landing. Like I don't even know how she's still in power, to be honest with you. There's like no army there, and we're gonna find out what happens to the Gold Cloaks pretty soon. Mm-hmm. But back to Daemon, yeah, he's tethered to this situation. It is funny, his reaction to the council meetings, but like I don't know how they suffer so much insolence that this gets people's heads cut off. It doesn't matter. It's kind of tough to believe in this situation, right? But they keep nerfing Daemon and they keep nerfing Corlys, which we'll get to. And it's obvious that as obvious as it is, they're adding Alicent scenes. It's obvious that they're nerfing these 2 characters. Especially with
the issue is right now, this entire season, Daemon should not be here. Daemon should just be literally fucking off doing nothing. Like doing absolutely nothing. So your issue is you have probably the most likable character.
Yeah.
That you have to put there in the middle of the story and the action. They've given him a lot of shit to do, honestly. Like he's super involved this season. But the problem is you can't have him. You have to have him somehow.
He's like muzzled,
tethered, because you can't just let him run wild and let the dragons free and all this shit. He has to be like somewhat in control, because you're forcing him into a situation that he wasn't actually in. You know what I mean? In the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only so much he can do. Like,
or else the story would the story's done. It's over. Like the entire world just burned down. If Daemon was actually left in charge, he would burn everyone in Westeros.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in charge, but I would just put him in a different situation. Now, I'm fine with the little thing that happens that we're going to cover here shortly, but yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I don't want to blow that wad. So yeah, he's still fighting with Rhaenyra.
Joffrey comes back and Rhaenyra doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, her kid comes back and she's like,
she's scared. Like that's honestly what it is.
Yeah.
We should also mention the main contention here is that the city, several men of the City Watch have just been brutally murdered. Daemon wants to take decisive action. Rhaenyra is saying, no, calm down. And he's basically like, stuff you, this needs to be sorted. They're the ones maintaining the control of the city. If you lose the gold cloaks, your rule is undermined.
Well, it's also based on Rhaenyra's decision to get rid of the graffiti artists, and Sir Luther was rough, like really rough. And that's not going to win you any friends.
And I think what Rhaenyra, this was last week's episode, but I believe what she wants is she wants Daemon to go look for Vhagar.
Yeah.
Like she wants him to go down and hunt down Vhagar and Aemond. Like that's what she wants from him. And he's saying they're like leagues away. This is at our doorstep. I'll go do that after, but I got to take care of this now.
We need to take care of that now.
And she's like, Daemon, I thought you were going to listen to me. And he's like, I will after I listen to myself.
Yep.
But Daemon is 100% right here, and Rhaenyra is just being led by her emotions, wanting vengeance, and she's not thinking about the practical realities at all. It's a scene that really shows how incompetent she is, like incredibly so. Daemon actually calls her out and says, "No, this needs to be done. I'm going."
Yep. So we have Aegon.
Yes. Gone on his whimsical adventures.
Real quick, at the end of that last scene, as Daemon and Rhaenyra are like having their argument, like one of the servants comes up to talk to Rhaenyra, and Daemon is just like, ugh, and fucking like rolls his eyes and walks away. Really funny. But yeah, go ahead.
So Loras and Aegon are basically they're bailing on God, what was the castle there? Rook's Rest?
Rook's Rest.
So they bailed on Rook's Rest, and he wants to go kill his brother.
Go to Harrenhal or something, and Clubfoot is just like saying, "Look, this is all too far away. We can't. You're injured." And
which way is west? I don't know. The sun's setting now, which would be a really good indicator of where west is, but I'm not going to tell you that because we can't go, Aegon.
Their interactions are some of my enjoyable parts of the episodes.
This was specifically very good.
I'm always happy when it's a scene with them.
Yep.
This scene, Larys eventually he loses his shit, and he says, "Look, you're a terrible fucking king. You're a terrible man. Like no one respects you. No one likes you. You're a piece of shit." Like he lays into Aegon. Like Aegon's never been spoken to before, really.
And that might be the first
kind of
time
drops the act for a bit.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, that is the first time that guy was 100% honest in the entire show.
I think we can already see in this episode and the next one that seems to be prompting a shift in Aegon.
Well, it's interesting because it actually kind of Aegon after that thinks that he's able to trust him now because he's actually being honest with him, and he tests
Tylan,
the Lannister guy, Tylan, in the same way if Tylan is going to be honest with him. But the moment where Clubfoot rips into him, I don't think it's in this scene. There's another scene where
it's a bit later.
Yeah, a bit later.
It's a bit later, but it's good. I like that scene a lot.
We got a terrible scene coming up.
Yeah, this is a scene I don't like a lot. We got the White Worm and Alicent.
What's that there on the table? Oh, that's for me. Anyway, here I go. Glug, glug, glug.
Yep.
That was for me.
That was nuts.
Trust me. It's for me. I'm making it real obvious.
I wonder what it does to you when you're not pregnant. Gotta make it.
I did wonder that. Yeah.
I think it just fucks your stomach up. Looks like.
I think it makes you pregnant.
If you take Plan B when you don't need it, it makes you pregnant.
It is fascinating now, though, to know where this somewhat leads in episode 6 of like, oh, she knows, she knows what's up, and is she going to tell
made the
Rhaenyra
decision
about
to withhold it?
Well, what I find humorous is that she lays one line towards the end of the scene, which is the seed to make Mysaria actually start to betray the queen and play both sides. And it's like, I forget the line, but it's basically like bonding over their abuse or misuses and stuff like that. Like, it was pure feminism. It was
we see where this is going, because we see it in episode 6 with certain glances that she has during that scene, where it's like, yeah, you're not subtle, show. Like, I know every time that you do something where I'm like, why is this happening? You answer it so swiftly, like, this is what they wanted to. This is the story beat that they were working towards.
Also, for Miss Super OP Spider, fucking not secretive at all. Her meetings with Allison, pretty suspicious actually, just in and of themselves. Like, why are you meeting with her? You're like, I'm just getting abreast of the situation. Generally,
what was the thing that brought her in here in the first place? Did she get a report that Orwell had brought that in or something?
Yeah. She openly says, "I am now listening to the whispers of the castle," something like that. Just saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm the master of whispers now." It's just like,
I hear whispers. It's in the job title, okay? And since nobody whispers in this fucking castle, or anybody when's talking about a secret anywhere, they just like walk 5 feet away and start. There's another scene later. It's not a surprise that more people don't hear stuff, or we just like talk about really sensitive information in front of 7 guards who I'm sure were just completely loyal to the team.
The Lady Jane shit, God, she's just playing with fire, man.
So, and I can't remember the speech because it's been 3 days. I've slimed it down. But the speech from Allison to like kind of put the worm in the white worm's head wasn't that great. It was just all, we're women and we have no control over our lives.
Yeah.
You know about that, don't you? And like Masari's like response is like, she's reacting like, you just said something really profound when it was just so cheap
I know.
and lazy. It's just, but she's like, I gotta think about that. It's like, if she can be manipulated that easily,
look both ways before you cross the street. I've never thought about that.
I know, right? It's just
brilliant.
She's supposed to be a master manipulator, a master of spies and everything. And one really obvious, blatant line is enough to make this bonding.
That's what Frankie was just saying. They'll set something up and just boom, finish it, move on. And it does feel like in some spaces they're speed running through stuff, where in Dan and Dave's Game of Thrones in the first 4 seasons, they would plant something and then maybe you get to it that season, maybe not. They let it fester for a little while.
It's more satisfying style of writing. Speaking of which, how the fuck did they not notice all that shit on the ground?
This. I'm glad I'm not the only one that got annoyed with this. It's like I get annoyed when dumb tactics work super effectively, unreasonably so. Because the horses they stand on 4 like these big caltrop almost things, right? But all the horses seem to step on it at the same time, and they all get killed at the same time. It's like, no,
it's dumb as shit.
The first horse that would step on it would alert everyone else to avoid them. And it's like, no, they all lose their horses as a result because they all suddenly are in the middle of these things.
It's because these guys suck. They're all looking up. None of them are looking down.
Yeah. Like it was, and just think of the logistics. How did the enemy know that they would be walking through this exact part of the forest? Or did they spread them over every single stretch into the forest miles long? It's just
in which case, I mean, that's really unlucky, for these guys.
They happen to walk through because this doesn't look like a common road, a place that they could easily predict they're traveling through. So it's just. There's a lot of contrivances baked into this trap that springs perfectly, and it's just like.
So the whole point of this is that in the beginning of this episode, you have Roddy the Ruin and Oscar Tully.
Yep.
Basically, they're just fed up with the Kristen Cole stuff because they are on a straight line to go somewhere, and they're just being harassed by these guys, and it's fucking slowing them down. And they're like, let's fucking turn the tables. So. Our focus is not going to be getting there. Our focus is going to be on thinking they know where we're going, but trying to intercept them and fuck with their lives. So based on their path, I think they're projecting where these guys are going to go. And that's why they got to that bridge first. And they're leading them into a trap.
I'm confused though, because the previous episode, or the beginning of the episode, showed that they got the jump on them, burnt their tents. They're going to have to try and recover and collect, and they're already marching forward. And it's like, well, how did the other guys get ahead of them to put down the crow's feet to get the horses and know where they were going? Okay, you know, it's not more teleporting, basically.
Somebody spilled some lasagna on these guys. Okay.
Your lasagna looks like that. Oh my God.
Blood sausage.
It's Texas lasagna.
Where's the cheese?
You don't want to know.
So the gold cloaks are getting killed now.
You might get pinged for graphic content having that on screen. Just said so.
Oh boy, fucking pussies. All right, so gold cloaks are getting killed. Damon is like, "What the hell's going on?" And it's they haven't quite figured it out. That like them getting plucked and killed. The thought of it without really thinking too much about the context. This was my favorite part. I liked where this was going because it at least interested me a little bit outside of the Ormond scenes. I'd have to say, you guys, you could totally disagree with me. That's fine. But I found this episode the least annoying of the ones I've seen. Yeah.
That might be. Yeah, maybe.
And it's okay to disagree. But like, yeah, when I was done watching, I'm like, well, there were some things I liked. There's a couple of things that reminded me of season 1, and just like, I definitely like Ormond Hightower. Like this,
he's entertaining.
He's entertaining, and this show needed it. But the little murder mystery, I'm fine with. So now we have Darren, and he's basically like an abused, kept child. And then we have Syvas.
This is
fucking Syvas.
This was a great scene. I think the difference between Ormond and Darren, who's just trying to do what he needs to do to get through the situation, combined with some awesome nerd shit. Like seeing Syvas, which is basically chess in Westeros.
Yep.
And while doing that, getting a massive, deep lore cut of some old shit that happened in the world. You know what I mean? This was a really good scene
with Dorne,
like on every level.
No, and that's where the title comes. I mean, it's okay. They mentioned this story, but it's also Kristen Cole, right? Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. That's the whole thing. So they get into the why Dorne hasn't been conquered to this point by the Targaryens, and it's just because they're shifty little bastards, and they're really good at hiding and fucking with people and messing with dragons, and it probably has a lot to do with them being descended from people who were brutalized and beaten a lot by Valerians. So that's, it's probably in their blood, and they probably have stories and traditions, and they have not been conquered yet in Westeros, even though they say it's the Seven Kingdoms. It's not even when it's the Seven Kingdoms, but they already talked about that in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's going to be a while until they're conquered. So
they're not really, it's just all about like marriage pacts and shit like that.
They pretty much kind of join it. That's the best way.
They can't conquer them. It has to be through diplomacy and marriages and shit like that.
Yeah. And it costs the Targaryens dearly every time they try to fuck with the Dornish. They lose people, important people. Even the Dragon Knight ended up dead. So Daron wins the game and feels bad, and then Ormond, kind of freaks out, but then he says, "Never apologize for winning."
He freaks out, like fucking clears the board. Also, he won by using the dragon. And I'd have to look at the board, but I think Ormond refused to use his dragon.
Ah, that's why. Okay.
That's a good little detail.
They're abominations. Yeah, he's a conflicted soul, that one.
Did George like design this game then, or does it actually have rules? Does it work, sort of thing?
We don't know the full breadth of the rules, but they do play it, and it is described at times, and certain pieces are described as doing certain things. So like we have a decent knowledge of it, but I think there's some like fans who have tried to recreate as close to the rules as they think it is. You know what I mean? Tyrion plays it specifically in Dance, where we get so much of that, Gary.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the Wins a Winner preview chapters, there's a major scene with the Syvass piece.
And our Hild starts to stop glazing the nasty Dornish. Look, I'm like Ormond, where the Dornish obviously like disgusting people, but you got to give respect where respect is due. And even this, he's like, this fucking fat, ugly, disgusting woman, the only woman in history who knew warfare, but you got to give her credit. Like, Ormond is, and as much as we complain about a lot of the shit that they've done changes wise, Ormond is a complete show creation, basically.
Yes.
Like he exists, but none of this stuff is happening, and his personality is not described as this.
Well, on that note, then it's actually a very fun, interesting characterization where he has contradictions. He's got like, you know, his ambitions, but flaws. And I also like his sensitivity to smell and stuff like that. It just fits his character. It's a good little bit of like, it's a good character quirk that matches. And so the character overall is becoming very interesting. Yeah.
Feels like he's allowed to be interesting because the show doesn't like him, you know, like the show has him as like a villain, which means that he can actually sort of be entertaining, you know. It's like he gets to have like sort of flaws that are like apparent and not sort of watered down or, you know, waved away.
And I just want to be clear, I hate the Dornish. I even hate him in the book. Oberyn's the only one I really like, but the rest of them can die.
Big fan of Pedro Pascal, aren't you?
I've seen that scene where he's talking to fucking Peter Dinklage. that was a good performance in that scene that I don't really have much context for.
He's good in that, and then his end is gruesome, so gruesome. By the my wife and I were supposed to go on a date after the show, and we're like, I don't want to go. I'm not hungry.
Pedro plays it really well, but the character is. I feel like Oberyn Martell is a character who, in the show, I don't know if there's any line of dialogue or scene that he's in that you could describe as a waste or redundant or anything. Like, almost every moment like means something to either the plot or his character or understanding him. He's a really good character in the show and
in the book. Yeah. But the rest of the Dornish, fuck them, and they waste so much time with them in Feast for Crows. It's ridiculous. But yes. I'm bitter about it still. Okay, I had to read
and then everyone's like, why did they spend more time on the Dornish plot line in the show? And then they get the 1 minute they gave was the worst fucking thing they done.
It is so dumb. All right, so he's just playing it cool, and then we have the women again, Helena and Alicent, and she's basically like, we got to get the fuck out. Right, this is where she tells her we've got to go. We've got to escape because we've been found out. And she doesn't know that the White Worm is going to keep the secret or not. So she's like, we got to bail.
Yeah, it's Alicent being a horrible person, basically saying, "Oh no, we'll make sure the daughter comes out as well." And this is Elena's daughter. But there was also a little lantern raised in that scene about the reference to this caterpillar that eats the nightshade.
Toxic caterpillars.
And then we see the caterpillar that she keeps on as a pet in her room. And so I was like, all right, I show him. Yes, you're showing me something. Okay.
Ryan.
Do you think that toxic caterpillars could turn into toxic butterflies, Gary?
Sure. Why not?
Well, my question is, do you think it's a direct reference to George R. Martin and the Toxic Butterflies?
Oh my God. That would be petty on a level that I respect.
Wow. Really?
So George R. Martin, in the middle of season 2, dropped an infamous blog post on his Not a Blog where he put more effort into writing that than he has in Winds of Winter for a while. And he talked about some of the issues that he had with some of the things that were either left out or changed in the show, specifically Maelor not being there, the other child who Helena is theoretically pregnant with right now. And he referenced, as he's referenced before, even for Game of Thrones, he talked about the butterfly effect. And he said small changes that lead to different things over time. And it's all fair criticism and understandable things that he's talking about. But he referred to them, I believe, as toxic butterflies and how they can like ruin a story. And I'm hard pressed with all the attention that's been paid to these caterpillars. It would be a stunning coincidence if the toxic butterflies were not a reference to that, you know? To be fair, Helena has been interested in bugs the entire time.
She has.
Yeah, but they're showing it visibly 2 points in the show now. So they're setting something it's not by accident. Why
they're setting something up? Ryan knows what they're setting up. Do you think they change something from the story? Are you picking down what I'm putting up?
Or
so I don't
Helena?
spoil? Yeah.
Picking down what I'm putting up.
Putting it, did I say that? Thank you. Good night.
I just envision us in a hardware store and Gary's picking up a hammer and handing it to me, and I'm just slowly putting it back down on the ground in front of him. Like, I got you, man.
I'm gonna put that in a t-shirt.
So George talked about that in that blog post. Clearly Helena's going through it right now. She's got fucking issues. We know that. She feels like her mom's fucked with her and keeps lying with her. She's locked up. She's got mental issues. She's having these dreams. We'll talk about what I think is going to happen when we get to the Rhaenyra scene at the very end of season 6 or episode 6.
Put a pin,
because I think that might tie into it.
All right, we've got
pretty boring. You know,
boring
I
scene
boring as
where
shit
they
to
talk
me.
about dads. I'm tired. Get some sleep. Okay,
next.
You think they're setting up a love triangle?
Oh God, well, I mean, given
I hope
what
so.
happens in episode 6, potentially.
Yeah, it's just uninteresting. That it's like, anyway.
Well, it's just weird, of course.
Yeah,
very weird.
But it could have been balanced out. But one of them stole sheep stealer and went off into a cave to become a terrible.
Yeah,
character.
we'll see her soon enough.
Yeah,
we'll get updates on that story.
So Alice Rivers is watching over Aemon, who's still healing, crying about his dragon. There's even a scene where, you know, he's starting to have his mommy issues come out again. She is clearly manipulating him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the books, it is assumed by, was it Mushroom? I usually just want to believe all the Mushroom stuff. That she's using spells or potions or a love potion on him. And even Kristen Cole, who was supposed to be there. But it's clearly she wants to get Harrenhal for some reason. Now this is her new path.
So like no one is sure, like everyone's like puzzled by the fact that Aemon and Alice Rivers are together, right? Aemon has been promised to the Baratheon girl, like that's how they got the support of the Baratheons, and all of a sudden out of nowhere he's just with this kind of older woman, Alice Rivers, not like fucking, I mean she's probably like hundreds of years old, but with a slightly older woman, and people are very puzzled by it, and no one can really make sense of why this is happening.
When the show has been setting up the mommy issues, which didn't really exist in the book, but not much did. So then we have Aegon, our boy, who is still, this is the scene where Laris basically says, you're a fucking idiot. You're a terrible king and you're a terrible person. And just loses his shit.
Every opportunity you had, you could have been the greatest,
Yes.
and instead you're a piece of shit.
You've-
I hate you.
Because he was complaining about Eamon's privilege of being a fighter and being able to do more stuff, and that's when Loras just snaps and goes, "Privilege? What?" He's all, "You've had every privilege, and all you've done is whinge."
And not only that, the dialogue, the way he words it, is just beautifully savage. Where it's just, and I can't remember the exact line,
But instead, you trampled your birthright in the mud. It's good. We can't show it all, but yeah.
It is interesting though, because this is not the first time that essentially somebody said, you think you're the hot shit? You're not. But like this one seems to be the one that is going to prompt like a radical change.
Well, that was Otto, you know?
Well, it's Otto, and then there was Allison as well, who basically said, like, just shut the fuck up, don't do anything. Just, like, sit on the throne and we'll do everything. You know, you're worthless. And that's what made him ride off and get burnt up. But yeah, this time it feels like it's going to make him a little bit more decisive.
I like as well that despite the heavy makeup, he always does a really good job showing you how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Tom Glencarney is very good.
This
is yet another instance where it feels like he gets to be a more interesting character because the show has a very negative opinion of him, which of course is warranted, given who he is and the things that he's done.
Kind of, I agree, but also I think the show has gone out of its way. In the same way we're talking about like these things with like Rhaenyra's circumstances versus her herself. I think they've done a lot to tell you that the circumstances surrounding Aegon are like also very responsible for what he's become. You know what I mean?
I think maybe the difference would be that the way that it's presented with him is more so for the sake of essentially, I don't know, narrative clarity of like, well, that is true. How you feel about that is kind of up to you, as opposed to Rhaenyra, where it's like, this is the case, therefore you should respond a certain way to, you know, what's happening with Rhaenyra. Because, yeah, I don't know, it just feels like with Aegon, we've got a much more well-formed character, like an interesting character, the kind of character where I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. Because it's essentially willing to be, I don't know, more honest about who he is. Compared to Rhaenyra, where it very much feels like there's a wedge there between like how the show feels and how a lot of the audience feels versus like how I feel about this character.
Yeah. Every time he's on screen, we pop up in the same way we go, ugh, when
it's just boring. It's just her complaining about how everything's so difficult.
Yeah.
I like this scene with Daemon. So
they're
Rhaenyra's in the sept praying.
Yes.
She's in the sept trying to, I guess, win over the goodwill of the faith, who fucking despise her and hate her and think she's an abomination. So she's praying to the she's trying to embrace this Westerosi stuff, and she's doing it not because she really believes in it, because she thinks it might be the right thing to do. Daemon walks in the room and starts laughing at her. Like,
yep.
That's how it starts. Like, basically, you're in church, bitch. The fuck is wrong with you? We're Valyrians. We're better than these people. You're in fucking church pretending to be one of them. And they talk in High Valyrian during this because there are a couple people like
and there's a long scene in High Valyrian too.
It's a very long scene in High Valyrian, and Daemon's like, and she's like, there are people out there there are people who are questioning me, and Daemon's like, what the fuck did you expect? Did you expect to just come in here and everyone's gonna say everything's fine, everything's good, everything's grand? No, like, you're gonna have to fight these people. There's always gonna be rebels, Rhaenyra. Nothing's ever gonna be fucking perfect. There's always gonna be problems that we're gonna have to stomp out. That's why we have dragons, to burn the world down if we want to. We can control these people. We can, like, under threat of death. That's kind of where Daemon's coming at through this entire thing. He's like, stop trying to appease them with these little things.
Remember, he thinks they are the gods.
Yeah, he does. And he thinks they're destined, the prophecy, all of this shit. And as with a lot of stuff that Daemon says, there's half of it that is, he's 100% right with some of his, like, the forceful action that's needed for some of these things. But also, they do need to be doing things to appease these people that you think are less than you, Daemon, because they do have a lot of power and they can bring you down, and you do have to care about that shit. So,
which he doesn't.
Nope.
But it's the Westerosi version of a Christian grift. None of them believe this stuff. But I mean, in Westeros, the seven gods are the only ones that are total bullshit.
I think that it is a Hightower and Faith like combined conspiracy that's going on right now. The active undermining of Rhaenyra. Maybe with Faceless Men.
Wow. Well, I mean, the episode was titled "Faceless Men," so
the second one we'll talk about was
that little girl. Yeah. Kristen Cole, Sir Blackpill is he's marching to his inevitable end that he is.
Yeah, we're gonna die, man. Yeah, we're gonna die, and I'm okay with that. Are you
going through rough terrain? A little detail I like that now that they're on foot going through rough terrain, they've had to ditch their heavy armor and they're wearing their gambesons, which is still a level of armor, but far more manageable when you're traveling long distances on foot. And the show actually has small details like that I got to give credit to, that I'm happy to see. Like what you mentioned before with the not chess game, how only one is perhaps using the dragon figure. And they're a little like, there's another moment later on the episode that I'm going to also point out, which is a small detail that, yes, I did notice, and I appreciate that they're thinking of that still. You know?
Yeah, as Ryan pointed out a couple times already in our reviews, Condell is a massive fan of the books. He's a book geek, so he tries to put in little Easter eggs for the fans, and he does it a lot. And
he's even putting in some things that were like that Syvas game is very much reminiscent of something from the Song of Ice and Fire books, not from Fire and Blood, but from the mainline series. That there are parallels within that. It's things like that. Condell, the longer this goes, I'm viewing him a lot like Dave Filoni in ways. I don't have the same hatred towards him as I do have towards Dave Filoni. But
how could you?
But I'm not going to sit there and tell you. I would never sit there and tell you that Dave Filoni doesn't know anything about Star Wars. He knows a lot. He's been around a lot. He has a lot of knowledge, a lot of lore knowledge, things like that. But it is sometimes this. Well, I know this, and that's what makes it more frustrating. It's like, I know this, but I want to do it my way anyway. And I know this wasn't the way it was in George's thing, but I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. I know, same with Condell. I know it wasn't this way in George's thing, but I'm going to do this anyway. And it's frustrating.
Two sides of a different George? I don't know.
Yeah.
Opposite sides. So Gawain says, "Hey, big handsome boy, you can come back in the service of my family when this is all over." And Cole's all, "Thanks, but no thanks. I need to die. I want to die."
Yeah.
This world.
I want
sucks.
out of this fucking shitty will.
Yeah. We could talk a little bit more about. When we get to the end of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also do like they're just dirty as fuck, and I think it's very representative of Kristen Cole, who started off. Kristen Cole, who came from nothing. He was nothing. He was no one other than a warrior. And he rose as high as he possibly could status-wise by becoming a Kingsguard knight. Like, that is, for somebody that was born at his level, 1,000%.
Never going to happen.
That is the craziest, highest thing you possibly do. And he was proud. He was wearing his all-white gleaming armor and his cape and everything. And
he came hand to the king.
Hand to the king somehow. But that white cloak was very important to him. And these are things that we saw happen all the way back in season 1. The representation of him laying that on the ground before he fucks Rhaenyra, and him feeling like he lost his honor and like, I have nothing now. All these things are like built up. And now you have him who's completely lost his way, who has really no idea what his thing is. He's seen these dragon wars. He's seen these people die, and he knows there's nothing left for him anywhere. And the representation of him is his white cloak and his white uniform, his white like stuff. It's just dirty and disgusting because that represents his honor and really all of his hopes and dreams. You know what I mean? He is just a broken person, and there is nothing he has left. And the only freedom he has left in life is deciding in this moment what they do.
Yep. And they do a good job of briefly setting up to where saying all I've done is served other people. And that's why when he turns down Gawain Hightower and he's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm done.
Yeah, because he would get safe passage probably, but he would just end up being their god.
Yep. And then asking to do their dirty work. So what they're setting up here is kind of a sympathetic arc for Cole, who most of the fandom hates.
That's because they don't understand him.
And Kendall, we'll get to what Kendall says in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it agrees with you, Fringy.
Oh, okay. Thank
I
you.
was wondering, by the way,
It does.
some of the dirt was like looked deliberate almost, and I was gonna ask, are they doing some kind of like medieval sort of stealth
camouflage?
Yeah.
Like maybe just to blend in, because it looks like they've even got almost like military face paint at some point. But yeah,
and I guess we should say, like, Cole has done some horrible shit, right? But the thing is, he's not irredeemable in the sense of some other characters. And as far as salvaging his character towards the end to make him look a little more human than just this, because the reputation he has in the books is, depends on how you look at it. He's always a cautionary tale, right? Of a guy who reached too high.
I don't know. I feel like some people like him way more than characters who've done way worse shit. You know,
you
like
hate him more than other characters.
What you probably know what I meant, whatever I said. The fact, you know, because like if you're tallying him up, I don't care about the sleeping with, like, it doesn't make me think he's a bad person for those parts, especially with the power dynamics going on. Obviously, there's the honor aspect and what it means for
Slamming
him.
Oldman's
but
head, that was probably a big low for him.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, so there's before that, right, where he crushed
Joffrey Longman.
Yeah. That was like, oh, but it made me like it didn't make me feel as bad as about who he is, because he fucking wants to kill himself after that. It's like, oh shit. So like, you know, it tells me what he thinks of what he's done there, and then what I know that he values. And then you get the episode 9 stuff was where I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna like him anymore. They're clearly gonna like rip him away in terms of making him like a retard. But like season 2 brought it back for me, because it's where the he's in way over his fucking head, and even he doesn't agree with like what the positions he's being put in. But I just always felt like he did a pretty good job despite that.
He did the best job you could expect him to do.
Yeah,
like he had no business being hand of the king.
I liked watching him lead men. I think he was pretty good at it. Like I'd see myself easily back in him with how good he is at fighting and how he tries to like rally people. It's just like, yeah. But the other thing, like how much am I supposed to hate him for killing a shit ton of his enemies, so to speak, under the banner of a false king? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people shit on him for that like dishonorable element, but I don't know. Is it even? Is it just a matter of perspective at that point?
I suppose it depends how you're doing it in some cases.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the book, Kristen Cole is viewed as the kingmaker. He is viewed as the one that is the reason this happened. And no one's really sure why. There's theories as to why. One of it is like he fucking Rhaenyra spurned him or something like this, right? There's theories about it. But he's viewed as opposed to Otto, I guess, being like kind of the lead guy. Kristen Cole is named the Kingmaker, you know, in the books, because people view him as the reason all of this is happening. So I think a lot more responsibility for all the deaths is kind of put on Kristen Cole. Whereas like Kristen Cole gets kind of swept up in it, and it's absolutely out of heartbreak and pettiness and bitterness and revenge and jealousy and like all of these things. And a lot of it, I think the reason it works and the reason that a lot of George's characters work when they're like adapted the right way, or at least with the right principles of his world in mind, is the same way Jamie talked about his oaths. It's like, how are you supposed to keep all these oaths? We swear this oath and this oath, protect women, but do this and obey this person, obey this person. It's like, okay, I've sworn to obey this person, but I've also sworn not to sleep with anybody. And now they put me in this position and I've lost my honor, but they're highborn and they're able to do whatever they want. And it's just, he's a mess of a man because of where these oaths have gotten him and the ones that he's broken versus the ones that he's tried to keep. And he doesn't know which way is up anymore. Yeah. All he knows is how to fight.
I find like the conversations about like the morality of these characters to be weird as like a way of judging it, because like, dude, these are like characters riding around on dragons, like burning the shit out of people, fighting over like a system that I don't even like, that isn't like the way that most countries now like operate. Like if it was like people need to, essentially figure out
Reformat.
exactly like what lens. What's that?
Reformat a bit, because like a lot of the actions these people take in these positions, just they kind of like they shouldn't be treated as though they're doing it in our world, I guess.
That's sort of the point that I'm making is like it's if when you're making like the judgments about essentially the morality of the characters, like I mean it has to be sort of like couched in essentially the context of whatever world and story that you're dealing with, and in that sense then it starts to become a little bit of a different sort of conversation. I mean, especially when like so many of these characters end up just killing people like all the time.
And it's we're talking about here. It's like, hey, Aegon the Conqueror burned thousands. Yeah, well, he burned thousands of soldiers who were armed and were warriors ready to fight. Whereas you're talking about potentially thousands of unarmed people who are just in their houses that, do we care about them? Not really, but it would be a bad look for us.
It'd be a bad look,
people, you know?
Their only concern.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of bust through the rest of this episode real quick. So they Tywin Lannister comes back.
I don't like this. I hate him fucking respawning here.
It's insane. Like, what the fuck?
Like, you got this. Why? You have to show something else of him fucking surviving, at least. This shouldn't be the reveal that he's survived. I knew he survived. Gary knew he survived. If you read the book, you knew he survived. But this can't be the moment you show us when he's like all the way in Rook's Rest for some reason and has been on this fucking journey. Fuck off. Like, this can't be the reveal that this guy's alive. I hate this.
How far is Rook's Rest from? Where did he go down?
The gullet.
The gullet.
Well, it's pretty far away, right?
It was in the gullet, so that's
not an easy trek.
Not an easy trek, particularly
alone,
when he went.
Right?
I mean, this is ridiculously. Like, I mean, this is silly.
Now, I like that he's back, and I think it's going to provide some really good shit. And he was never dead, but I fucking hate the way that they introduced him like this. I despise it.
A couple of scenes of him like crawling out of the water and finding a way back. Because again, like he looks pretty healthy after that battle.
Rook's Rest is close to the coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is close. It would. I don't know if he fucking hopped on a boat. I don't know if he drifted, but he was in armor. So the idea that he just randomly pops up here, it's the first time you see him, and it happens to be with fucking Loras and the king, and that's where Tywin Lannister just finds himself. I don't like it.
Fancy meeting you here. So Alicent and Helena were gonna escape, and they get caught by the White Worm. And she doesn't. Well, she's like, I can't protect you. I fucking can't. I don't care. So eventually, this is where she gives the speech of like, we are two women, sisterhood. Let's go.
Yeah,
totally.
And again,
it's also important that Alicent is lying to Helena and saying that her daughter, who is still there, she's going to meet us there. Don't worry. And it's just a lie to get Helena to go, which is pretty fucked up because Helena's like, I don't want to leave her here. Like, you're saying that you and I have to get out of here, but we can't leave her here. If you're saying that she's going to be safe, why wouldn't we be safe here? Like all these questions, Well,
first, Alicent tries to talk her into it by going, well, she'll be cared for, and Rhaenyra won't hurt her, that we escaped.
Well, she's not very interested in what Helena thinks at all, which is really bad.
Yep.
It's just really bad and mean.
Her poor special needs kid
fucking constantly because her plans are all terrible. And then she's that meme where she's got the gun to her children. She's like, oh my God, who did this?
I mean, I think it's very like it's incredibly revealing of this like Hippocratic nature of the hypocrisy, I should say, of Alicent, where she's trying to do this to save her daughter, but she's revealing what a terrible mother she is all along the way because she is trying to trick her daughter into abandoning her daughter, go with this. And it's really, I think it's based way more out of Alicent's guilt at this point, out of her guilt for this situation and the fact that she's already kind of ready to let all her other kids die. It's much more about her than it is about Helena. I do think when it comes to what we're going to see in episode 6, you finally are starting to maybe see a change in that perspective when it comes to Helena. But it's very revealing what a terrible mother Allison's been this entire time.
I wonder if it's intentional, because if you were to be super duper charitable to the show, you could say that this is entirely in character for her and that she's not very interested in her children as people, but rather as sort of what they represent in this world, like the sort of place that they have and the power that they have, or, you know, conversely, the vulnerability, rather than like being interested in essentially preserving them as people, rather than just them being just alive, right? Even if it means kind of completely uprooting their entire life. But again, I'm not sure how much I believe that's intentional on the part of the writers of like, yeah, it's kind of the same flaw that she's always had in terms of her relationship with her children. But I don't know if that's on purpose.
I mean, she's trying to force feed her child an abortion pill and like straight up lying to her to leave her child behind. I get it
probably intentional, but
it's bad.
Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Gonna start whipping her for using wire hangers, mommy dearest. So that's a big footprint. And this is Kristen Cole. And they are like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is gonna suck. And
Yeah.
and
they're just building up.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just building up the green guys leaving. He's like, this is too much for me. We're just dying. He doesn't want to die. Kristen Cole's
the
ready
green
to
guy? Gwaine?
Green guy.
The fuck? Gwaine is awesome, man.
I
like him
remember
a
all
lot.
their names.
Yeah, Gwaine's good.
He's
I do like him though. But that scene is just basically the build up to justify him leaving. Justifiably so, honestly. Like,
oh yeah, he don't need to die. He's not in the same position as Cole.
Very much a you do you, bud.
Yeah. So and I mean, he eventually leaves. So he eventually takes off, and after their little trek through the leech-filled swamp, it's like, I want to go home to my feather bed. So then we're back at Harrenhal with the sail swords.
detail.
What?
It like there are some dumb things that like it's I'm gonna wait until someone dies and then move in one at a time through the fight scene. But there is a detail. Look, it's a tiny detail. It's irrelevant for most people. I was happy to see it. My most viewed video on Shadowversity is on backscabbards, and it's got over 7 million views. And in that video, I explain the circumstances.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. 7 million views on a video about backscabbards.
Yep. And in that video, I explain, I show one that works, and the circumstances where you would want to wear a back scabbard. And one of the things I make very clear, climbing is where a back scabbard is actually far better than having it on your hip. And all the guys here wearing their weapons, swords on their back. Back scabbards doing climbing. I was like,
good for them.
I'm good to see that. Makes me wonder. Look, makes me wonder if some people might have seen that video or not.
I thought they would do something a little more with them climbing over a werewood, but not really. Alice shows up.
I think there's a part with the werewood here that becomes very relevant. Yeah.
Well, okay, yes. Towards the end, you're right.
It is sort of, this is one of those cases of like, the writing quality broadly is just worse. Of like, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's feeling vulnerable. It's like, because it's going to be an attack, and then Eamon's going to come out and fight.
You watch the scene, the music and her body language is already like she's vulnerable this time compared to the times where she launched bats, or that she was like, able to teleport, or she can do this, that. So it's because it's time for Eamon to save her now.
Well, I think my view of this scene is that she is letting this happen to have Eamon save her.
Well, and the way
deepen that attachment.
So Ryan, I was expecting a goat or something. Some
you reckon,
a whisper in the leaves, or maybe I missed it. But sorry, go on, Mullen.
Just that she really lets that come close. Like a guy has her captured. I can't remember if he has like a knife on her or something, but
well,
she'd be fucked.
The guy has a knife to her throat, and then he decides to just leave her and attack.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can the
sort of pick your poison on the scene on like the motivations, but I just thought this was really clumsily put together. There's a moment, I don't know if you want to watch it, Gary, on your end, but not show it, where one of the last people that goes to attack Eamon has like the perfect place to strike him, just plunge the sword through him, but instead just moves it up and then Like the choreography is fucking lacking in this sequence. It's really sad too, because I remember them doing much better with Aemond and his choreography before.
Or just the training scene when you see him introduced, like he was moving quick. There were tight movements, near misses and stuff. And yeah, this one is just a bit unfortunate. And you got to see Blackfire in action, and you know, this is what.
Well, towards the end, somebody gets skewered on a root of a werewood, which that was the whole. They were leading up to have a blood sacrifice on a werewood. Yes.
So I think I think the whole thing's kind of engineered by Alice to like let herself be vulnerable in this to make Aemond save her. I guess she probably let it get too close, but I think that's like deepening this attachment.
Bad choreography being the problem, and him winning. So there we go. So
I've got a few because I thought it was really fucking weird. I don't know why they wouldn't, because it's not even too hard to like fix.
Yeah,
you just have to do it again. But so this bit, right? He gets pushed back onto a rock. The guy, all he's got to do is but he has to follow.
Never mind.
Yeah,
what is
obviously that was meant to be that Aemond like grabs his arm and essentially redirects the stab, but like it's clear that the movement, like they didn't time it right.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like again, like I said, it's just like, do you not have another take? Like
just do it again.
This is what you guys are filming. It's only you two, and it's not too hard to fix. Like I said, just
no, it's actually not.
No. The one thing, apparently every single episode now we need some sort of fucking sexual assault reference or attempt or whatever. This is the one for this episode. I'm like, I've fucking had enough of it, man. And don't worry, we'll get another one next episode.
Well, and we also have another silly fucking bit here of more violence happening because of evil man at Rook's Rest. Like, oh hey, bro, this is your crowd, and then Aegon just stabs him to death. What the hell is this?
Yes, I love everything about Aegon in this scene, but again, this fucking guy got sacrificed to the altar of retard to like make this
happen. Like, come on.
And this is supposed to represent, like, because I watched the post credits interview. It's supposed to represent Aegon finding himself again.
Yes. I mean,
so quickly after that talk, like next scene. A guy walks up, steals the crown, and goes, "Is this your crown, Mr. King?" And then Aegon
it's even more than that. Like they're having one of the most sensitive discussions ever. They're just gushing details, and the fucking current, leader, I guess, of Rook's Rest or whatever. He's just listening in while slowly rummaging through their shit and finding a crown. I was just like, holy crap. And then he's like, hey, bud, is this yours?
And then, of course, as expected, this happens.
When, if you think about it for a minute, that information that guy was clearly hearing would have been far more valuable to him than that crown.
Yeah.
I do like the Aegon response. What do you say? You can call me your grace? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Then he smiles.
Call me your grace
at the end.
I thought
he's a funny guy.
When I first watched it, I had to rewind it to look. I thought he was stabbing him with Sunfire's scale. But
that'd be cool.
I wish they would have done that, but I think it was just a knife.
Yeah.
So that would have been symbolic, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yes, it would have. Symbolism.
The dead Sunfire that we'll never see again, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Daemon is rallying the gold cloaks who haven't been paid. And he's like, you're going to get paid double and glory and everything's going to be awesome. We got to find these guys killing you. Nobody, you're always in pairs, blah, blah, blah. Then Kristen Cole and what's left of his garrison is finds out that the Rivermen in the north have taken out the bridge. They've gotten ahead of them. They're kind of screwed at this point. And they go, wow,
you fucked with them, they fucked with you.
We're screwed.
Like, oh, man. I think it was this scene where I was like, oh, yeah, Cole's running out of battery. Like it's for the story. I mean, it's like he ain't making it to season 3. I mean, 4.
No.
Torture scene with Daemon. He scoops out an eyeball.
Yes.
Get some information.
Yeah, that's cool. But then he sort of abandons the. He gives up when there's probably more information to be gained from this fella.
To pay a compliment first, okay, and Mike just tiny. I hate it in every movie and TV show where they're like, got to torture a character. It's like, okay, I'm gonna slap you, I'm gonna punch you.
Yep.
Just it scoops an eye out immediately. Just like, yeah, so I've got one, I'm gonna get the other. Yeah. It's very good practice. The only thing, criticism as a torturer, Damon, I'm experienced. I make people play Gollum. You gotta keep them alive to test the information, and you gotta look into how much more information, you know. You got him by the balls. They get the like key piece. It's just like more context, more details, more everything.
Well, the information he gets isn't really going to help him stop the murders. Now he just knows and confirmed that it's the Hightowers doing it. Okay, what next?
Now
Damon?
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he does get information that like it's a piece of gold with Darren's face on it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's who's behind it. It's got King Daeron. They've got gold coins, gold dragons made of King Daeron.
That is
and
bold
the guy
choice.
said I never saw his face as well. That's what he said about the guy who paid him.
Just be like, sorry, you're gonna have to give me more than that, or I'm taking the eye. You know, it's just and then do it anyway. Fuck it, you know.
But King Daeron, with Aemon still being out there, that's a bold choice. So this is where Gawain's like, hey, come live with me. And Cole's like, no, I need to die because I want to die.
But yeah, I think the one thing that's kind of amusing about this is like, Gawain's realizing in real time, it's like, you want to die. And Cole's like, have you listened to nothing I've said?
I've been telling you.
Pretty much.
I tell you for a season, bro.
Like, I don't know, man. This is very existential. You can't make me hate this guy. It's not possible. No. This is a guy who's essentially had his life ruined by, partly through his own fault, all of the machinations and the systems of this world just crushing his spirit and his will, just being a pawn of all of these people that don't really give a shit about him. Or really anybody else. And then finally he decides, fuck it, I'm gonna die on my own terms. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
How can I hate this dude for that?
He's one of the few people in all of the Game of Thrones universe that has woken up to what life in Westeros really is like, and is like, I'm out, I'm done.
He views their world the way I view our world. So I like Kristen Cole.
He's like, these White Walkers that I don't know about, they have a point. Okay.
Cole needed to meet Dunk. That would have been the solution. That would have brought him back.
I do like what we've seen from Gwaine as well, and we haven't seen a ton of them, but I've liked them because I feel like Gwaine really was just this kind of fucking prissy, high lord that kind of thought it was gonna be fun to go to war, almost in a way, wasn't really taking it seriously, and I feel like he's learned a lot from the thing. And although he was upset at the way Kristen was doing some things, and kind of rightly so, with people just raping women and whatever was going on. But I feel like it's really changed his perspective on everything, probably including his own family. By the time he gets back.
Yep. So Damon informs Rhaenyra, like, hey, it's Ormond Hightower, and they have crowned Daeron king. So that's one fuck up that we didn't really cover. And this is where we get our speech from Kristen Cole that kind of goes over the end, where Damon finds 14 in total. I don't know who was sitting at the table, but they make it look like a Last Supper, and they kill a bunch of the gold cloaks, including Sir Luther.
So, the Last Supper, like they're not referencing that, right? So they would have to like, is that just coincidental in the sense?
It looks like it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, because that exists in this universe.
So it's funny because I think they actually, that both the last scene, if you can show it, Gary, and the first sequence of the next episode, I think are almost derived from the same thing. You remember the thing in the books where the Rivermen are like slaughtering people, and they set them up in a like almost like they're sitting at dinner. They like stage their bodies in a way, and a couple people, Gary, pretend like they're dead so they can ambush Cole's men.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are both inspired by that same event, both here and then what we see in the first episode of next. But it's impossible not to get Last Supper vibes from this thing as well.
Just the shot, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
this is
100%.
referencing the Red Wedding, okay?
Okay.
Just they have a dreamer on the team.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, they do, but
A feast for traitors. And like some meta Feast for Crows shit in there. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is making me wonder about how tough the people hunting them actually are, because to get the jump on how many guys here? 7, trained gold cloaks. Like they need to be pretty damn tough themselves with some good numbers on their sides to pull something like that off. Or is it just going to be, I don't know. We'll see.
well, and this is why. So as soon as this episode got done, there were a lot of theories, and I think it made a lot of sense to think that it's the Faceless Men potentially. Now that would be something new that they brought in for this. But obviously the Faceless Men exist. The Faceless Men can be hired. We know that. We're aware of that from the mainline show and of course the mainline books. And the idea that the Faceless Men would be employed by potentially the Hightowers who have a lot of money, and maybe by the Faith as well, because they have an axe to grind with the Targaryens. And if you believe a lot of the possibilities out there, the Faceless Men may have been the ones that actually caused the Doom of Valyria to begin with, because they were originally slaves of the old Valyrians. Like, there could be a lot of things that make sense why the Faceless Men would be doing something.
And they could pull something like this off.
They could.
Yeah.
I don't know if the next episode, which is titled Faceless Men, is all that much confirmation of that.
I think that's a coincidence.
But but like they've certainly planted the seeds for it.
Certainly did. We're on to the next episode as soon as it wants to fire up here. How's everybody doing? So I love the idea. If this is the Faceless Men, I like that idea. I do. I don't know if it will be though. We'll see.
I mean, the next episode is titled Faceless Men, but I feel like when someone gets confronted, it could be, but I don't know if it's what they would say.
Think they might just be running out of episode titles and references to the book. I mean,
I don't know.
And it's just, it is metaphorical more than literal. So here we go. We start out in a killing field.
Someone says, yeah, it's cool, but who bought them? Obviously, the implication would be the fucking Hightowers. Like, what do you mean?
The Hightowers are rich. They're
they stole
and they're the ones that are doing the scheme. Like, what do you fucking mean? Like,
and it could be you might want to throw the Citadel in there too.
Yep.
So I have questions about the setup here. I'm just like, I don't think Cole would really have fallen for it. Like I could tell, because they found it first. No one checked the bodies. Everyone is playing dead perfectly. And
there are dead people. There
are dead.
A lot of these people are dead. Yes,
but you would. I don't know.
Well, see, my impression. I thought that basically they were sacrificing these dudes. Like that they are playing dead, but that they're going to get killed.
These guys
they figured
are
this was
essentially
going to happen.
sacrificed for sure. Yeah, because
all I'll say is Cole's fucking faction here is so small. I don't even know if this was necessary.
Yeah, they got barely anyone there.
Is for theatrics, and you could have, as far as talking guys into sacrificing themselves, you had a bunch of Northmen there who have gone there to die. That's what their job is. They are not supposed
really
to come
fucked
back
up.
home.
We've had this many scenes and this many events, and we still haven't seen Tommy Flanagan just fucking axing somebody.
I know.
Come on.
That's
one time.
You think they're saving it or not?
Are
there many more opportunities for it?
Maybe. I feel like he's there more in symbolically as like he's an awesome actor and he's the leader of them, and that's that.
Yeah, so basically how this gets set up is like a scout comes back to Chris and Cole and he's like, hey, like, we found their camp, but something really bad happened. And so, like, that leads them into here where they do have dead bodies. They have dead horses. They have real dead people. And Kristen goes to some of the dead bodies and he, like, kicks them. But he can tell, like, that they didn't suffer the wounds here and that they didn't fall here naturally. Like, they were clearly placing something's up. And that's where they spring. And this is, again, inspired by something that did happen in the book, Gary, where they did exactly this. They faked a bunch of, they had a bunch of actual corpses and some real people hiding there who then tried to attack Cole's mom.
I mean, they're very lucky that Kristen didn't just randomly kick one of the live people there, which there was a lot of live. Most of them were alive, just dead.
Or just
I get what you're saying.
They had
consequently, if he kicked a living person, then that person goes blah, and then they do the same thing pretty much.
And I mean, it doesn't, like
but
once
my
they're
main
here,
issue is that the scouts that went in ahead of time didn't figure it out, and not only that, there is like a massive army of thousands upon thousands.
Yeah,
of men
no, that's
all around.
the
scouts did not pick up any sign of the travel of thousands of men.
They're not very good scouts.
It's completely over. You know, like it's like, haha, we have you surrounded. It's like, yeah.
What would have happened if one of the scouts did a stab, just a little test stab, and then
somebody does mention like they died, but they didn't die here. Basically, somebody does figure that out.
Was Cole?
It's Crispin. Like when he kicks him over, he's like, they didn't fall here. Like something's
and then that's
wrong,
about when it happens. And hey, he gets to do a bit more swingy stabbing, which is,
they definitely. This is what I find interesting because book death, the point is made very clear, right? That Cole, his death is not going to be celebrated. That he's made so many errors and mistakes and stuff that his legacy should be one of extreme controversy, if not dishonor outright. The show gives him his big final fight. He does a lot here.
It gives him a big final fight, and then his actual demise is framed in a way where it's like, you want me to feel that this was tragic then?
Yeah.
And I'm on board with that, okay? I'll take that.
Too.
A tragic end for this character, but it comes across less as a scornful, derisive, like, fuck you, Cole sort of ending.
Which is what a lot of people in the Hot D current fandom were looking for. This is what I was reading about, and I was just like, oh shit, I didn't realize so many people hated him so fucking aggressively, but I wonder if they'll find this ending a bit, I don't know, dissatisfying.
They're like, I wish that he'd suffered more or something.
Well, yeah, because
there is
more
that
of an
kind
ending
of,
that I like for him.
There is a bit of an FU moment there where he says, 2 against 1, come out, fight me, and they're like, nah, get stuffed, they just shoot him, and I'm like...
I think what I because for that I kind of view that as the show essentially taking my side on that, which is
he would have won.
He wanted to fight them 2-on-1, and then they were like, no, there's no way that somebody who says I'll fight you 2-on-1 and gets hit with arrows looks like the loser in that situation.
That is also exactly what happened in the book.
Yes.
But there's more context in the book, right? That presents it more as this is like a fitting.
Yeah, like you don't deserve the chance to have your like honorable duel. Fuck you. That's like how it goes in the book, but in the show, it's more of a we're not going to risk fighting you. That's how it feels.
Like as if we're worried that we're going to actually lose this fight, and that would look really bad.
Yeah, like and they do hate him for all the trouble he caused them, which to me is. It's like half and half. It's like, yeah, the tactics are brutal, they're underhanded, but at the same time, he did his fucking job, man.
To the end, he did it.
And if he took on 3 guys, Cole probably would have won.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what that scene was for, like before he dies, the fight scenes to show him fucking a bunch of people up. They didn't have to do that, but they did.
What did you think about the Morningstar stuff, Shad? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a flail. And look, it would mess people up. And they did exist. It didn't. It's there. I have videos on them. You can look up flail on my channel. But
you're just mad because you can't swing without hitting yourself in the dick, Shad.
Yes, I can. I've got a freaking video showing it.
But okay, right. He hits himself in the dick one time.
I was going to say,
he
hits himself in the dick.
This is sled. Go look up my video, flails versus mace. In nearly every situation where you want to use a flail, except on horseback, you want to use a mace instead.
What about flails versus your balls? Have you made a video on that yet?
No, because I like my
That's
balls.
the next 7 million right there.
There you go. 7.5 million right there.
Our Hiltzer for $1.09 says, R.I.P. the Kingmaker killed by a cowardly Blackwood. And yes, it's Black Alley Blackwood.
A woman. Yeah, who they've set up, like, they didn't set up at all. They
showed her a touch and like some background scenes.
Dude, it is nothing. Yeah.
Amusing to me.
Yeah.
That they're at a fucking intense disadvantage, and yet still he's shot from an unseen person in bushes with an arrow. It's like, wow, you really didn't want to risk it with this guy. I get it. I mean, he's good at his fucking job.
if they didn't want to risk anyone, they could have shot all of Cole's men with arrows. They're surrounded, and
they wanted to fight, but they didn't want to fight him.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll side.
This is what I mean. Like, I like this. Like, I'm
I like it.
Yeah.
I'll
side with
like they basically just so at the end when they get surrounded, like this is played out very close to the books, where Cole offered, "Hey, if I surrender, will you spare my men?" And they're like, "Nah, fuck you." And he's like willing to fight to like, "Hey, well, if that's gonna happen, I'll fight you guys then. Let's fucking go." And then they just shoot him with 3 arrows, very specifically with 3 arrows. But the only thing they don't do from the book is the speech really derided. Like they do give a speech basically saying, "Fuck off, man. Like this has been a long fucking time. We're done with this." But it's not as derisive and disrespectful in painting him as so really evil as the book does. Yeah.
And I do think that's an honestly important choice they've made to change the meaning of the scene. But I'm happy. Well, I wouldn't be happy with it had they not built the way that he is. Like, I'm happy they did.
Well, I needed his black pill speeches, you know, at the end of season 2, and then that one last episode. It's like, yeah, when you pair those together, and then the last 2 things he does is bargains for the lives of his men, and then nevertheless is like, I'll take you on 2-on-1. Well, and it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of like him.
Loads of people I'd seen, and there's people even in this chat are like anticipating that line, and it's just not there. So I have a feeling it's going to annoy a lot of people.
Which is interesting because it felt like they set that up in the prior in the speech he does in the prior episode. There's a specific line that definitely sets up that line, and yet he
mentions songs, right? About
he mentions it. Yeah, and I remember when I watched it, it was like
I thought they were. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely like. So we're going to bank on that next episode when he dies. Okay.
And then they didn't. And this is I've not been happy with this season at all. But hey, thumbs up.
I wonder, maybe they did have it, and they ended up cutting it in the editing room.
Got cut.
Yeah, I'm glad they cut it in this context. I'm sure that in the book, it probably works super well with the way that it was presented in the book. But
and even with my questions about the setup and even some of the execution, I think the whole arc that they do with Cole perfectly consistent, and goes out in a satisfying way. It closes.
And they gave him a fight. He got his fight scene, you know.
He got the mate, smacking him in the face.
Even if he was using a flail.
Well, I was going to say,
flail.
I'm not saying the choreography.
These guys.
I was talking strictly like on a spiritual level, like that he got to kill a whole bunch of guys, helped his own guys, and then even the fact that you see this whole army, he knows what it means. He's been talking about what it means, and he's just like, he just faces it. He's like, "Yep,
they're looking around, and someone's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Means death," and he's almost happy about it, you know. And he kind of gets ready, gets the sword. He's like, "All right, well, let's do this." And he realizes what's going to go down, and he does. I guess we didn't talk about it. He pulls out Allison's favor, right? The cloth that he's been hanging on to.
I don't give a fuck about Allison anymore, but I do care about him, and I like that in all of this black void that he's experiencing for himself, he's got that one little piece of meaning that he's going to take with him to his end, sort of thing. I like that a lot.
Well, and I think, I mean, when I look at Kristen's story, it's somebody who's been destroyed by women.
Yeah,
like
lost women has brought me grief after grief.
That line is fucking amazing. Yeah,
but you know what I mean? Like, legitimately though, and I think the show has shown that, and I don't think they're shying away from obviously his things that he's done that he shouldn't have, but that what Rhaenyra had him do destroyed his psyche and his life to the point where he wanted to kill himself. And then at that point, Allison takes him in, and he becomes super loyal to her, and she also then just takes advantage of him and disregards him in ways and shit like that. You know what I mean?
They both do that, and they both treat him like shit despite it. Like, they're like, you do this, you break your vow, you do that, and then also like, fuck off, shut up, do whatever I tell you, sort of thing. So it's just completely used. Yeah,
and I think that's what the show has shown. You know what I mean? I don't think that's just what I'm seeing. I think they have done that work to show that he's somebody who's been destroyed by these 2 women that are at the center of the story.
We kind of talked about this for a while. I was just always worried they were going to take him to a different ending, but it looks like they, I was about to say they knew what they were doing. I mean, on some stuff, but this one, they really were being deliberate with this.
Yeah, takes out one last time and wraps her on his sword, getting ready for his last stand.
Simp.
Yep.
And
Fabian Franklin.
So is removed one of the few characters that I'm still like kind of properly invested in. Now it's just Aegon. That's it, basically. And Ormond.
Aegon is basically it for me. Damon's fun. I'm just not enjoying him anywhere near as much.
It feels like he's really treading water at the moment and not well.
I feel like he's muzzled because of I don't know. Gary, you worried at all about like fucking them age restricting for this shit, or I don't know if it was.
Maybe I should be.
Well, it's just a little arrow through his head.
Yeah, just a little arrow.
Yeah.
That's a big army, guys. That's like I'm like, how did your scouts miss that?
Yeah.
Well, Blackout. I'm gonna agree with our Hilt's hurt. Black Alley is a gassed up Blackwood, is a gassed up George R. R. Martin tomboy for sure. Every family's got one. Blackwood's still superior.
It's funny with the lack of context because I'm already set to not like her for that. Like sniping him from a fucking bush.
Well, it depends on what they do.
She is one of like the stereotype, like Gary said. George like writes the same character over and over again, and so you've got a female warrior, right, who just wants to be one of the boys or whatever, and is a really skilled archer, who is present in all these battles. Didn't she go on to marry? I don't think they're not going to do that in the show, are they? They don't have time.
Stark?
Yeah, Cregan Stark, right?
Cregan Stark, yeah.
That's eventually her fate. So
he gets smitten with her when I was like, "Oh, you like men? Okay."
That explains the him and Jace rumors.
There you go.
Do they mention how strong her bow is?
We didn't see her string it, Shad. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
More like
you fucking cocksucker. Nobody gives a shit.
These are important details, all right? Is it a war bow? Can a woman pull it back? Takes training. I'm just saying.
Nar, they didn't. All right, we're back to our favorite council.
Bring back Cole.
What was that?
What is that?
He's got a tornado coming his way.
No, wait. Is that Shat? Who is that?
It's my freaking phone. It's saying
I remember I saw this on the news yesterday. There's some sort of like alert thing that was going to happen.
It is.
That's hilarious.
Critical Australia alert test message.
What the freaking hell? I saw that yesterday on the news and I totally forgot. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Thanks
the shit out of me.
Thanks, Australian government.
Hey, at least I know that works, I guess. But I guess. Know.
Did you get it as well at the same time, Friggy?
Yeah, no, it was 2 o'clock, 2 p.m.
Wow, 2 on the dot for us.
That happened.
Fucking Aussies.
I had my phone on silence.
Man. No, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I remember.
I know.
It said you had. All right,
it's the point of those alerts, right? Because they're going to tell you if a missile's coming in.
I was about to say you probably don't want that to be on silent.
So they don't want some motherfucker who's just trying to get a good night's sleep who silenced their phone.
Excuse me, I'm trying to watch the Odyssey in the cinema.
Jesus
That's why I thought it wasn't me because I'm like, no, my phone's on silent. I can't be me. And then I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We get those all the time.
Okay.
Fucking
Amber alerts and all that stuff.
I knew it was coming and it still gave me a heart attack. Anyway, continue.
Sure. The ones I hate, Gary, the silver alerts. When old people get lost. Just let them go.
You have alerts for old people getting lost?
Yeah, we have silver alerts, amber alerts.
Amber alerts are for kidnapped kids. Silver alerts are for basically old people who shouldn't be out and about anyway. Should be locked into some fucking retirement place when they are out and no one knows where they are.
Then, if the emus decide to launch a new offensive, then we get that. We'll get that alert.
You get the emu alert
coming. Yeah, watch
out.
It was
a cringe alert for this scene. Okay, so we've got
yes, that's appropriate. Yeah.
We got Damon still. It's almost like they filmed this scene back to back with that last one from last episode. So Damon's like, I've lost more of my men. We need to we need to go burn them out. Like, fuck this shit. We can't pussyfoot around.
He wants to burn Tumbleton to the ground, basically.
Yes, he does. And the rest of the council basically doesn't want to do it, including Alan Valerian. He's like, no, we got an army marching down. We need to wait for them. We have to do this strategically. We can't just burn the people who raise their banners for us. Damon's like, I could just take my dragon there and we could sort it out. And I forgot what lady is on the council. She's like,
Frey.
oh yeah, because they're what was it? Frey? It's Frey. It's a Frey. Yes, good old phrase. And she's all, yeah, they're well known for being tactical and not no collateral damage. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what she said.
I'm pretty sure Damon threw his cup at Manderley.
He did.
And
I love that.
After calling him like fat or saying he has indigestion.
Yeah, like
the only battles you've had
is a fat piece of shit or something like that. It was
the only battles you've had is with indigestion.
Yes, that was it.
So
she looks insane and unhinged.
Fanatics still prowl our streets. So he's pissed and he walks out. And then Alan Valerion's like, we'll get some Valerian men. I'll go ask my dad, the Hand of the King, who isn't here right now.
I'll ask him for more stuff from you.
Yeah. When you wouldn't give him that one thing.
Don't go well, yeah.
So she's all, And then the Baratheons show up. She needs, and they really can't do much. So she needs to borrow some clothes, a belt. She says a belt. I want to borrow a belt. What could that possibly be for? Because Rhaenyra says, like, basically we're going to send assassins into Tumbleton to take out Ormond.
And she takes him to task for
yeah,
because I think what they say, Boris took his army to fight the Vulture King, right?
Yeah,
right, Gary.
I'm trying to remember. I looked at my phone during this scene. So
yeah, so they show up and she's like, "Well, where's Sir Boris? Or where's Boris? Like, where's the army?" And it's like, "Well, Sir Boris had to actually take Lord Boris Baratheon, I should say, had to take." The army to fight the Vulture King, because we're trying to protect your realm, my queen. And she's fucking pissed. She's like, oh, really? So he couldn't come here. He didn't come when he's called. Just like he didn't protect my son when he was under his hall. Takes these guys to task. Yep. I could fucking execute you for his crimes. And then he's like, what will you have of me? And she's like, your belt.
I'll take your belt.
I'm like, oh, is she gonna fuck somebody else? That's what I'm thinking at first.
She obviously grabbed their surcoats and everything and more.
Yes.
Yeah, it was more than a belt.
Yes.
But, it works as a metaphor.
Can we just take a moment to enjoy the love of dragons?
Mm-hmm.
Vermithor, Silverwing, who are like mates, who do love each other, male and female. The dragons of the Old King and his wife. Look how sweet this is. Just nuzzling up each other against each other any chance they get. Aren't dragons awesome?
It's a shame they're going to be made to fight each other and all that.
No, they're not.
Oh, well, not these two. Each other.
Dragons in general.
I just mean in general. Because they just want to chill and eat food and, that's all they want to do.
It would almost be less sad if they fought each other compared to what might happen.
Yeah. So it's just another conversation of, man, our lot in life sure sucks. I'm basically a knight now. I have a dragon, but is life really that much better?
He's lost his freedom.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, there'll be another thing that happens that will be planting more of a. I mean, it's pretty clear where this is going.
I miss
not been
hot
subtle
pie.
with it.
Yeah.
Oh, he said hot pies.
What, you thought he said hot piss?
No.
No, he's
hot pie.
Dude, since I became a dragon rider, I just had cold piss. It's
not the same. You don't want to have a hot piss. That's might be a little problem there. So yeah, he's gonna Hugh the Hammer's he's got a plan.
He's about to enact a crazy scheme. I don't know what's
insane side quest.
Scheme.
And as you pointed out, Mahler, when we were watching, they both go on weird side quests.
They both have hilarious fucking coincidences.
Oh, here we go again.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
And these things are getting redundant. Like these scenes
Yes.
They
between
are.
them, it is.
It's dragging things, making it boring. Just like
Well, it feels
Leave 'em.
contractual at this point that they are supposed to have at least like 10 scenes where they discuss something per season.
Yeah, probably, honestly.
So this is where Allison tells her that Helena is pregnant. And Rhaenyra gets offended when Allison said, well, you're going to kill him. It's like, do you still think of me that way? It's like, yes, actually I do. I watched
not
you
only
murder
that-
my dad.
Neither of them are just being honest. Like, we kind of just hate each other. You should probably just kill me. I can't believe I sold out all my children for you. I'm an idiot. I don't know.
Yeah.
there is some really stupid things in this dialogue. She gets indignant, saying, "Why would you dare think that I would kill, the child?" And then she later says in this scene, "But if they all discover that she's pregnant, they're going to force me to do what you." And it's like, hang on, you're just admitting that you would do what you said you would never do. And it's like, all right.
So from Rhaenyra's perspective, she was just put in a position where she had the opportunity to just kill Alicent's child, right?
Yep.
In what she thought was Darren, and she didn't. She was going to send him to the wall and stuff like that. So that's why she's like, why would you think that if I had any other choice, I would? And now Rhaenyra's like, we have to keep you confined. We can't send you away. We can't do anything because if anybody else sees that, they will try to force me to kill him. And so the final thing is you're going to be fucking put up here. There's going to be a bunch of guards. You're going to have no possible opportunity. You can't go outside. No one can see Helena. She can't be walking around with her fucking belly hanging out because then everyone's going to know she's pregnant. So you have to stay essentially right here as prisoners.
Still.
And Allison doesn't want that. She said, I'll take it for myself, but you can't do that to Helena because she's an autistic weirdo, basically.
Yeah.
This is so because chat's probably confused. This is the olden times where autistic people love to go outside and wander instead of stay inside watching YouTube all day.
Yes.
Different breed.
Different time. So White Worm overseeing the situation, basically. We got to lead right into her. She's keeping an eye on those two, right? She calls them what?
So that girl's going to pop up later too.
Yeah. Like one's a liar. Gold Cloaks turn in their cloaks. They quit. They're like, we're done with this.
Of course they quit. Yeah.
We're not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting killed.
We're sort of building up here, right? Of like Damon does the big speech like he used to do, but it doesn't mean shit anymore. Because at the end of the day, the speech doesn't overcome the reality. It's like, well, they need food. They need food and they want to not die because, they have loyalties of their own to their own families.
And they're getting killed. Like, part of it too. Yeah.
No, there's not much keeping them in this job.
Exactly. And I assume that is meant to be the point. It's like, of course things are falling apart because you have to actually, which it's a scene later where it's like, I guess hopefully that is something that's being built up to, which is, you actually do need to be receptive to the needs of the people that you govern. Otherwise, they might just get really mad with you.
Yep. You got to listen to them and pay them when they've worked. And that's Rhaenyra's inexperience. And they haven't called back to it, but they've showed it plenty that she never paid attention to this shit when she was younger. Mm-hmm. And now it's all biting her in the ass.
It's overwhelming her, the requests from people, all that shit.
Hey, remember Corliss?
I know that guy.
I remember Corliss. So he's stringing up what's left of the Triarchy, and they've kind of mowed through them. Alan goes, "Hey, Dad, I need some men because the Gold Cloaks all quit." And of course, Corliss goes, "She needs more of me. Her needs are never ending." Well, I mean,
true.
You're the only one who can do anything, Corliss. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Alan kind of gives it back to him though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But it still bothers me, and it will infinitely bother me that Corliss seems to have given up on trying to legitimize them with her. They're not going to be moving us forward on that. We've discovered as a result of the end of this episode what the purpose of that was. It was to drive him out here and then get that certain thing to happen. I mean, we'll see where they go with it, though. It's just annoying.
Well, yeah, because they keep nerfing this guy who's supposed to be one of the biggest badasses in Westerosi history.
But like, if that was the writing problem they were solving, you can still get him out here. You just have like he sends his men to do this job that some leader's not doing well enough, and he's like, I want to do it myself. You could even cause some conflict there. That he's like, I need the job done well. It's like you're needed at the council, you know, blah 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 blah. Instead of the legitimization thing, which I just got the impression from Corlys from the entire time we've known him, that especially without the stuff at Driftmark, all of his treasure and everything, that would be the only thing that he'd be trying to push. And he's got leverage too, because the more time goes on, the more she needs from him. So the more he can just be like, hey, you know what I need? You know what? Just do it privately for a moment or something. Like, do it. Yeah. Do it in front of one lord or lady. Just prove to me that we're getting somewhere with it.
No, he's been kind of resigned. Chat said it. He's kind of a crybaby now. So so Laris, Tylan, and Aegon, our boy Aegon, they're burying the body of the guy he killed in the shallowest grave of all time.
It's very funny. It's funny, yeah. I kept waiting to see how shallow it was, and then I think they deliberately kept it away until they put the body in, just to show how fucking comically shit that.
Like this could be like just a funny sitcom. These three guys who have no business being out there trying to survive this way, who all are so fucking different from each other. Yeah.
So and this is where Aegon tests Tylan, you know, and he asks him straight up. He's all, "Am I a good man?" And Tylan's all, "You know, we all as men make good decisions and bad decisions in life." And he's like, "Okay."
There's something to admire and despise within each of us.
What really got me with this was Laris's fucking reactions. Like, at first trying to figure out what he possibly would say, and then just being baffled. Like, you fucking suck. What are you even doing?
And it was Tylan was trying to talk him out of leaving Westeros and not going to Essos because, well, Tylan's been there. And he tried to warn, like, no, that's not a really awesome place you want to go to. But yeah, this is where Aegon's all, nope, we're going. Let's get on a boat. Let's get the fuck out.
I mean, from my understanding, I'd think it would be a better choice to go with Tylan, where he has a chance to, you know, rebuild some support. But
at Castle Rock,
yeah.
Kind of a hard castle
is the
to get
decision
into.
More of a, you could do that, but you could also be much safer and just build it later anyway, because it's just really fucking turbulent right now.
So there is a history of kings temporarily trying to be risen up at Casterly Rock, like during this time period and stuff. I think Tylan's one, he wants Casterly Rock because it's his seed and all these things, but also the idea of if you're a sitting king, if you're saying that you're the king and you're abandoning your country, and like it's just like a bad look.
But he's presumed dead right now, right? At least
Thailand or Aegon.
Aegon,
yeah.
He's got that excuse.
Both of them are. Isn't Tylan presumed dead? Yeah.
Our favorite character.
I really like the.
I would be shocked when she showed up in this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of her. Tired of his character.
You know what I thought these fucking dragons were at first, Gary? When I first saw two dragons out there, I'm like, wait, are they going to do Cannibal and Grey Ghost out here too? And then I looked at the size of one of them, and I was like, no, it's probably Moon Dancer.
But in the Vale, I mean, that would be crazy. It'd be bad enough to have
sheep
one.
stealers in the Vale.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Cannibal.
I think we will.
I think so. Okay. So back to Alice Rivers and Aemon, and she's like, "Oh, poor little boy. He misses his dragon," and she's basically trying to talk him into like just laying low, wait for a good time to strike. You might want to listen to her, considering she can see the future now and see the bad choreography of fights, and so. And he's leaning into the thing they've been setting up for 3 seasons, his mommy issues. But she's just he wants to go find Vhagar, but she wants him to stay. Now, where is Vhagar? We saw his footprint, but that's about it.
I think Vhagar's just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because in the book during this period, Aemond is actually just taking Vhagar and like sacking random towns and killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, burning the Riverlands.
He's like terrorizing the Riverland. She's like terrorizing the Riverlands, and everyone is like, "Oh, Aemond and Vhagar are doing it." And in this, everyone's like, Aemond and Vhagar are just randomly burning things and terrorizing the Riverlands, but Aemond's not there. You know, like he's at Harrenhal. Vhagar's just doing her own thing.
Yep,
which is kind of interesting because that could have actually been how it was in the book, I suppose. You know.
So in this opening scene, they toss somebody out, and you just hear a scream.
That's a very funny cut.
It was good.
Yeah, never ceases to be fascinating. Then they bring in. Oh God,
this dumb cunt. I'm so like when she showed up, I just rolled my eyes.
I've always wanted a dragon. It's like, it's all you are. That's all
she is.
So yeah, we get the scene where she just says, all I've wanted was a dragon, and now I've lost everything else. We've noticed that through the show. Don't know how necessary the scene actually was. She gets slapped. Okay.
For some viewers, it honestly might be necessary to spell it out like that, just being honest. Based on some of the people I've seen commenting on the show.
Yeah, I don't think I think we've gotten the picture that she is down and out. She's lost everything because a bunch of people think that she's responsible for the death of, why am I blanking on his name now? Jace. So and which she wasn't. She flew in, but it was just a distraction. And now they think the writer is dead of Sheep Stealer. So she's supposed to lay low. That's part of their deal. And she broke the deal because she saw her sister. And she just said, hey, listen, if you ever do that again, you're done.
I think she was responsible, personally.
Well, I think the dragon was okay. She's responsible for getting on the dragon who went out there and distracted. I mean, she was dumb.
She took the dragon over there. It's all her fault.
She abandoned her charge, right? She was supposed to be there, protect the children. She actually had a role to play. And I get it. You've been ignored by your father. No one took you seriously because you didn't have a dragon you were put in the spot. I get it. But she disobeyed. She went out there. She took the dragon, was trying to go probably back to Dragonstone and be like, look what I did.
Yep.
And then saw the battle, was like, that's my father, or that's my grandfather's fleet. I need to help them. Was not ready to do that.
Do you think she had that much control over or did the dragon just smell the
Gary,
blood of the battle? And
it's gotta be like, of all the places it could go at that moment.
I think, didn't they
she was going to Dragonstone, right? And
she was going to
Dragonstone and they saw the battle. And I think she was like, let's help them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a scene where she's like, that's my grandfather's fleet, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
And it's not like she was trying to kill him, but she was trying to be helpful. But you're not helpful, you dumb bitch. Just stay in your cave.
I know. She just doesn't stay in the cave.
And eat berries. While
Seriously,
also going out of the cave.
Just kill her. Just get this, because you're going to get screwed by this. Look at the amount of people in this room.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, man.
Can we have a conversation about this conversation? Thanks for reminding me of that, Mauler.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. She's talking about some very sensitive information. Like, she is the one that led to the death of Jace. There is a servant in there. There is, I think, at least 4 guards in there, maybe 5. These are not the kind of conversations you have even in front of you, what you think is your most trusted guard, because that would make her she would be a traitor. She already is at this point. So, and they do this a lot in this show, right? And it just makes it kind of dumb sometimes.
This was basically just to remind you that Rhaena's still here. Right? That's all this scene was for.
Yeah.
It'd been a couple episodes since we remember that Rhaena is still here. Because truthfully, what benefit is there for Lady Jane Eyre to protect her? Because you don't actually have the protection of a dragon for the veil because you can't reveal that dragon without revealing this secret. Like, it's pointless, basically. Unless every other dragon is dead. Like, there's no point in having this dragon for protection from the veil because you can't reveal it to anybody without getting people mad at you. So she should not have done it in the first place. Maybe feel a little sympathy for her, but at this point, she's clearly proven that she can't be trusted and that she's reckless and that she's a DEI hire retard, and you should just kill her. Throw her out the fucking thing. I was wondering if she was going to throw out the thing and Sheepstealer was going to swoop down and save her.
I don't even know if it would be really fun to watch it drop out, but it'd be really annoying to see her saved.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy that they replaced Nettles with her. Nettles would have been far more interesting character. Oh well, justice for Nettles. But yeah, there is a lot of people in this room where they're having this sensitive. Oh, so one servant, and there was at least 5 guards.
And the 1,000 people in the town that saw her.
Yep. Yeah, she said 1,000 eyes. Is that what she said? Something to that effect. But yes, a lot of people saw her. Then we have a little I mean, for Targaryens, this is pretty far separate.
This ain't shit.
Right. This ain't, this is like cousins, second cousins, third cousins, whatever. But yeah, they make out.
You can you feel the connection, the love, the relationship, the chemistry, everything.
Right.
What's the point of this? Like, what
it's gonna cause some bullshit later. That's all.
Yeah, with his brother, because his brother has the hots for her as well. And
so I said love triangle.
Are they gonna fight each other?
Like, and the thing is, well, one of them's got a dragon. Like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you look at these guys, when you look at Alan,
Be right back, by the way.
Yeah.
You look at Alan, you're like, dude's a little too serious. You know, kind of like high strung, whatever. When you look at Adam, you're like, oh, this guy dude looks pretty cool. Like, he's got a fucking dragon. He's pretty carefree or whatever. But Bela choosing Alan.
He's responsible.
He's got a weave.
That shit. She's like 19 years old. Who gives a fuck? To be honest, I actually genuinely think that obviously she has just lost Jace, and they were pledged to be married, and they seemed like I had a good relationship, but I do think that she really admired how dutifully and like seriously he took his role in terms of being the heir and doing these things. That might be one of the reasons that she even mentions these, like, you're very dutiful, you're very loyal, all that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm. But still, it's weird.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, it's not weird because they actually do get married.
So. Oh, okay.
But it might feel weird if you didn't read the book because there's been zero chemistry.
This came out of nowhere.
Just like, what?
It's all unhinged anyway, but like the fact that it came out of nowhere too, it's just like, all right. Okay, I guess this is happening now.
But thank God we get to Orm and Hightower and Gwaine. They're together. And Gwaine has to explain himself why he isn't with Kristen Cole right now, who they still think is alive.
Yeah, he went sort of black pilled, and I'm still blue pilled myself. So like I'm just gonna chill out here if you don't mind.
Yeah, I want to live, and he is following his own madness. And your uncle lacks imagination as well as courage.
Well, it's good to get him here because we already know who Gwaine is. Putting him here with Ormond, it's like, that's like just a good pairing.
I like the idea that if Cole had actually come with him, he'd be standing there and just like, fuck this, and just kill himself. He's like, there's no point. This is just going to be so lame.
Makes a couple comments about, well, I'm sure some of the boys at camp probably kept you company. Real
Gwaine
nice.
Is gay, by the way.
Gwaine is gay. Yes.
Okay.
They make it very clear.
And it actually saves all of their lives in about 15
because
minutes.
He's like, this guy ain't hot enough.
Yes. This is so good. Yeah. But I like this little speech. You know, he's like, we're taking our time. We're basically destroying Rhaenyra's rule in King's Landing, and it's working. Whatever he's doing, it's working almost too perfectly. And he's, we're going to fight him on our terms. And Gawain's like, hey, they got a bunch of dragons, like some right over the hill right there. What are you, crazy? And it's like, Rhaenyra's not going to burn her own people. She's a woman.
They're too squeamish. He has such disdain for people, and I fucking love it.
So
the thing that threw me about it, though, is this a line from the showrunners to be like, see how wrong he's got women? They are more than willing to
burn innocent people.
Yeah, and I'm just sort of sitting here like, well, yeah, what do you think that means then? You know, like he's saying they're too squeamish. The show's response is what? It's like, no, they're not. They'd happily massacre. You're like,
no,
okay.
They've shown women massacre.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just sort of, I'm sitting here like, I guess he's wrong.
Yes. Yeah, Rhaenys trampled a lot of women.
About, women and children.
Yep. Oh, they could have used that, Fringy. As dumb as it was, afterwards you could have used it by going, that bitch Rhaenyra just stomped on a bunch of small folk. I would be using that as a you know, it's not misinformation, as a information campaign to like sow the seeds of rebellion. But no, it's a
the show thinks she was great. Which is insane. She killed so many innocent people for no reason at all.
3 weeks ago, we had, well, of course, I'm sure it was a real person, a Twitter account put up that scene going like, this is peak cinema. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Dude, that was horrible. That was like, it's just the worst moment of season 1. An otherwise great season.
Yep.
Jesus.
So, yes, she's a woman. She's soft. She's squeamish. She won't burn her own people. And then once they see she's unfit to rule, they'll come to our side. And Gawain's like, how many people have come to our side exactly? So they will. And then the line that was in all the trailers is, you know, the patient hunter gets the kill.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I hope he gets something before he inevitably dies horribly.
The early bird gets the worm. So how
yes,
you know, what does that mean then? Who gets
if the early hunter kills the worm,
you picking down what I'm putting up? Guess worms, are they game?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If they're the white worm, yes.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So then he makes another comment is Gawain's like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And Darren's gonna go with him. He's all, well, keep your back to the wall there, Darren.
It's pretty funny, yeah.
It's fucking, he's a dick, and I love it. So we find Darren's like, this guy's terrorizing me. How could you fucking leave me alone with this piece of shit?
This was good because we finally, other than him talking to Tessarion for a bit, we finally are getting to hear something of how Darren feels and thinks and who he is as a person. Finally.
I wish they wouldn't have this fucking conversation though around the corner. Like, holy moly, guys. They even get like somewhat loud at one point.
Did they show is it actually like right around the corner from that, or did they show did they cut a scene to walking a bit?
The way I was watching it, I thought it was, but I'd have to check to be sure.
Yeah. It looked like it could be further down the hall.
There's a cut, but man, it certainly looks like it's around the corner and not far.
And just Ormond seems like the kind of guy who might just, you know,
sneak a listen, put a little ear
follow him. Yeah. And Gawain's just, I want to go back home. I want to get out of here. You'll be fine. You're Ormond's favorite little treasure now. But Darren sees no, he doesn't give a shit about me. He would sit the throne if he could, right? And toss me aside.
Like Darren's very aware. My impression, and I think it was a good performance by Darren. This kid's playing Link too, right?
Yeah.
I think it was very good because not only is he worried about Ormond, he's worried about himself because he's making me do things and I have to do these things just to survive. And if this happens and he props me up like this, he is going to rot me from the fucking inside. He's going to destroy me to make me do what he wants me to do. And he's in a lot of pain over it. Yeah. And he forced him to murder somebody.
Yeah.
And watched his dragon eat him.
Yeah.
You know, Ormond's fucking awesome. That's all I'm saying.
He's great. No, you know, Gawain is good too in this series. Like he dies like a punk in the book. He, you know,
really?
he's the head
Should have been dead already.
Yeah, he's the head of the Gold Cloaks. So when Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, he gets killed like immediately.
Because he has a good moment this episode towards the end, and so
yeah. I actually just speaking of Darren's actor, I think it bodes well for like I don't really give a fuck about the Zelda movie, but for a character who we don't know how much they're going to speak, because obviously the character of Link doesn't speak too much.
Dude, he's going to talk so much. I don't know why you think they'd have him be silent. There's no way he'll talk a whole bunch in that movie.
I think he probably will, but for a character who we don't really know how much they will be talking, I feel like he's given pretty good performances while not saying much.
No, I kind of agree. I don't want the movie to exist. I don't want it to be live action. I would have preferred if it was animated, if it was going to exist at all. But he's been good. This actor's been good, and he was good in Blind Manor as well.
Yeah.
And then
he was in Blind Manor too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Blind Manor.
Shit.
And then he brings up the question that all of these children have in common, and it's their problem with their fucking mothers. And he's like, while you were in King's Landing and Gawain stops and you kind of know what's coming, he's like,
yeah,
did my mother ask about me? Did my mother talk about me? Or did you talk to my mother or something? And he's got tears in his eyes. It's like the mother who sent you off to be fostered by Ormond, the mother who you don't think gives a fuck about you. And guess what? She doesn't give a fuck about any other kids either.
She doesn't. And in theory, it might have been a good decision if you hadn't sent her to Ormond. And she had to know about Ormond. She had to know.
Although
I don't think she knew. I don't think so.
Gawain wouldn't mention it.
I feel like Alicent would have mentioned it to Rhaenyra when the only thing she knew about him was a sensitivity to smells, you know?
Ormond was about to talk shit about Otto, but it just kind of, the conversation stopped. Like, what about his grandfather? I forgot what the context was, but he's all, Otto?
Yeah, he says like where to begin in terms of, I guess what's wrong with him and stuff. I mean, you know, it's not huge.
His taste in women. That's what it was, right?
I thought it was like he was going to say like a bunch of issues with him, which wouldn't be a huge shock. Otto didn't have a lot of friends.
It is interesting seeing the high towers, and once it all plays out, we'll see if the conspiracy theories are true, which I kind of hope they are, to be honest with you. I've always liked and the high towers being involved with the Maester conspiracy and maybe the faith to get rid of dragons. So yeah, good scene. Scene I liked. Now we have Helena sewing her quilt, and we have another conversation with Alicent. I guess of all the it's gonna sound terrible, but I don't care. Of all the women scenes, Helena is my favorite. I
liked what I liked her these last couple episodes. What they've done with her, I guess. How they've used her to shame Alicent.
Yep.
Yeah. And well, they've given her a bit of a backbone as well, and she actually cares for her children, and so it makes her sympathetic.
Yeah, she doesn't want to have an abortion.
Based.
Yeah.
So she's doing the self-harm like Alicent did, a little callback to the self-harm. And this is where she finds out, right, that, oh, you lied to me about my daughter. Like, we weren't going to meet. Like, fuck you. She gives it a little shamed look. Then we have poor stable boy walks in on Aemon leaving.
This is just mean and stupid, IMO. I guess it's supposed to prove to him like what she's willing to do, but I mean, who cares about him in that sense? And then simultaneously, dude was just doing some work for Harrenhal. You could have just not involved him in all this shit. Poor fucking guy.
Poor guy.
Well, it also makes you wonder what Aemon was thinking here. I'm going to go to the stables and get a horse while it's the daytime, while there are people working around. Sure, no one will see me.
Huge bounty on his head, which Alice warned him of, and he's still going to do it anyway. And then he goes, wow, you could have killed me too. What is your game, lady?
She witch.
And she says, it's a game of stuff and things. You need to figure it out on your own.
Was that
That's
the
like
alternate
fucking-
name for the
Basically,
show?
I can give you a bunch. Like, we can have a lot of power if you're willing to like learn or something.
Yes. But you need to learn from me. And this is where, okay. So
This is crazy, dude.
This is nuts. So there's a conversation, I can't remember if it's before or after this, where Aemon says, I'm cursed, and she's all, so am I, basically. I'm
you think you're the only one that knows what that's
Yeah.
like to be cursed? Yeah.
Then she's like, I'm gonna show you something. She breaks out dragon eggs. Dragon eggs. Now, again, change from the book, but there was a Targaryen at Harrenhal. So it was Dreamfire who laid a clutch of eggs that have been there for 100 years.
Was it Rhaena Targaryen?
Rhaena.
I think Rhaena Targaryen, who took Harrenhal as her seat for a while she was having issues with her family and stuff.
Yep.
And Dreamfire was there, and I think Dreamfire stayed there until she died, until Rhaena died at Harrenhal. And then I think Dreamfire just went back to the pit or Dragonstone or wherever, right? After that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Wait.
What?
Maybe.
I can't remember. So, what's the point? I mean, is this just an Easter egg? Because we know how this story ends. And they've already shown potentially the eggs that possibly it's maybe or maybe not that Daenerys gets.
It feels like we saw those already. Yes.
Yes.
We saw those at near the end of last season. Yes. These are not those eggs. These are different ones.
Oh,
there are persistent rumors about dragon eggs up in Winterfell.
Yep.
That would have been laid by, is it Silverwing up in Winterfell? Right, Gary? When Queen Alysanne goes up there?
Yes.
There's rumors of eggs in the Winterfell crypts. There's rumors of, Dreamfire. There's rumors of stuff like that. I never thought in a million years that they would put these here.
Put eggs at Harrenhal. And again, like, what's the point? Is it just here's some dragon eggs? I mean, they could have just, I don't know. I was fine with them sticking with the old gods magic. Obviously there is a point, and it's gonna, who knows if it's gonna tie into the Song of Ice and Fire or whatever. I'm sure there'll be a million theories out there, but there have been fans who have thought about that, but they think about anywhere a dragon is gone, there will be eggs. But this one was like, oh wow. Kind of surprised me when it happened. One of them feels warm when Aemon starts to hold it.
Well, when they hold it together.
Wasn't there a little blood on it too, or
is that like a trick thing from her to make him feel like there's something here?
Maybe.
It's my gut is it's some like merging of the old gods and the Valerians, like, you know what I mean, to create some sort of like extreme power and like utilize these dragons, maybe to protect this sacred area. Maybe some trick from the fucking Children of the Forest that they want them to do this. I don't know. I was shocked with the last thing I expected in that crate were fucking dragon eggs.
Yeah, I was not expecting to see that too. That's
and
why
I also made a blood sacrifice to a weirwood tree.
They did. Again, I go back to I don't think it'll be this, but I think it's the Song of Ice and Fire. That's kind of on the nose with this. I don't know what the point of it is though, considering the ending. So also somebody mentioned in chat, thanks for reminding us that Helena was sewing a quilt that showed Aemond. It's really subtle. Mahler picked it up though, because he's good at that.
The joke is that I think it was, well, no, to be fair, like if you know, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. It's Eamon and an I. We'll just say that. So they're like, wow, the eggs. All I put my hand to withers beneath its touch.
This is the cursed part, yeah.
Yep, this is the cursed part. So, yeah, the blood sacrifice and then the eggs, and there is a little blood on that egg, by the way. It's got to be leading to something. Not sure what, though.
I think the blood's coming from her having just stabbed and killed that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great scene where we see Roundira, Roundira, the idiot, is listening to the small folk.
Well,
and
she's
deflecting.
She's hearing them. I don't know if she's listening.
She's not accepting any accountability from the small folk, and they have a lot of problems. By
the time her story comes to some form of close, I don't know if she's going to have any fans left, like in the audience, if you know what I mean. And what's funny is I'm not even advocating in the sense of like in the same way as she does some horrible things or she goes this. I just mean she's fucking annoying.
I think that's the best way to describe that.
Because she's obviously, these scenes are supposed to be showing just how much everything is collapsing for her, but like, oh my god, I find almost every decision she makes just like, okay, yeah, that's gonna work out, idiot. Though we've still got the you know,
I think we are about, when we get close to the end, I'll explain more, but I think we're about to see a little bit of a turn.
Oh, definitely,
or cruel. Regarding
it's a matter like her patience has waned. She wants to get the job done, so she's willing to do, like, that's what the story they're going with. I just mean that you combine everything. I don't think there's gonna be many people who like her left, if anybody still does.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody likes her right now.
Well, I think in an ideal telling of this story, by the end they wouldn't be. But I don't think it's gone the same way.
So I just looked up like what are the theories for having eggs at Harrenhal, and I'm not seeing much now. I'm sure we'll see more in the
There's about to be 8 fucking videos in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really basic answer to manipulate Eamon, a magical awakening, book to screen expansion in George R. Martin source material. Alice later claims to rule Harrenhal as a witch queen. So maybe that, who knows? But isn't the first petitioner a septa, like saying one of our girls got stolen or something?
The second one, this first guy's complaining about fucking tallow, while a baby's screaming and crying, which is annoying as fuck in any public setting. So the guard's like, get the fuck out of here, woman, with your child. So the baby goes out, and then I think a septa goes forward and is like, you know, one of our girls was stolen last night. There's no city guard anymore to protect us. And Rhaenyra's like, you know, I will I'll light a candle for her. Basically, like, now, oh, she's dead. Like
now, like Rhaenyra, I know she's pretty stupid. She's made a lot of stupid decisions. Is she this stupid to think that, like, that's...
You can't keep asking that question.
I guess, you know, like, because
I've given you the answer for fucking 2 seasons. The answer is yes.
Yeah, but like, it's been a problem for 2 seasons. Is the second answer?
Because
I agree.
You have to be mentally disabled to think that is any way to resolve this problem. But it's like, oh no, I'll light a candle for you. Yeah, and it gets stuffed. It's like, okay.
Well, it's tough to think that we know the writers feel a certain way about presenting the women, yet they presented them in the worst way possible. And all you could say is Jaehaerys, the conciliator, was right in manipulating the system to make sure a dude sat on the throne. The man wasn't wrong. He was king for 50 years. He probably knows a thing or two. Tallow, I had to look it up because I didn't know, Ryan. It's animal fat. It's animal fat.
Like beef tallow.
Yeah. And then here's our girl. Well, okay. I don't want to rush past this scene. So she gets questioned, and there is a guy. Okay, this is the point, Fringy, where a guy brings up a really good point. Okay. And
yeah, no, it's because this is when there's a little cut. The little cut happens, which was so great to see.
Oh,
I love seeing that. I love seeing us get cut on the throne. It's starting to have more of an unhinged sort of tone. You've got the white worm looking like, oh, because obviously they're setting up a turn that she's going to have. And then, yeah, the small folk guy basically says, essentially, regardless of whose fault it is, like, this is your responsibility, so what are you going to do about it? And then she basically storms off.
There it is. She cut her, and she cut herself on the throne. Something that I've been waiting for all season. I thought it was going to happen in episode 2 or 3 or whatever that was. I am really glad they put this in.
Yes, it was important.
It was important because in Westeros, for kings or a queen, when they cut themselves on the throne, that's viewed as an incredibly bad omen and as someone who's not worthy. And in the book, Rhaenyra did indeed cut herself on the throne. And that was obviously, now some people say that didn't happen and that was just propaganda pushed by other people because everyone's, trying to explain why their person should be in power. I'm really glad they showed it.
Yeah, and it was noticed by some people in the book, and they make mention of it. It's like, oh, the throne has rejected her. She's
the reason why that accompanied with the guy saying like, maybe it's your fault, maybe it's not, but like, what are you going to do about it? That feels like
still falls
it is
to
the
you.
show. The show is essentially making something of a statement that feels like it marks something of a turn from what it has felt like for Rhaenyra so far. Like I'd say basically the only correct interpretation is the show is starting to move towards having a negative opinion of Rhaenyra. Now it's going to start blaming her a lot more harshly, essentially for. Now, of course, I think the show probably should have been more aware of. It's a complicated thing, the nature of how much a story essentially acknowledges, like, the morality of what's happening in the story. Like, that's kind of a complicated thing. It's tied up with tone. It can be a bit tricky to sort of figure out. But yeah, I mean, a lot of our complaints up to this point have been that it feels like there's very much a disconnect forming between how positively the creators of the show viewed Rhaenyra versus essentially how we're viewing her and all of her terrible, stupid decisions. And now it feels like it's maybe going to start converging again, which would be nice if the show is starting to say, yeah, you know what, Rhaenyra, you actually are doing a bad job. And no amount of my circumstances were hard is going to be a good enough excuse anymore.
The only asterisk I would say is that of the show's perspective would be like, it was those past actions that she did either well or okay in that have now led to ones she's making bad decisions in because she's, like,
like, it's not going to retroactively condemn a lot of the prior choice. It'll be like, now is the turn. Now she's going to start. And you can already see it because in the latest scene that she has with Alicent, it's just, she's unhinged on purpose. Like, the show is definitely giving her a more unhinged sort of look.
And I think they've been leading to that over the past couple episodes. I mean, you had the whole episode with her like seeing ghosts, seeing Jason's ghost, and then seeing Bela and not even knowing whether that was a ghost or a real person or not.
The show would absolutely like the credit to say that they took her from 0 to 10 in terms of like transitioning from one character to another. But where you draw what number she like went too far, feels like the show's took a while to catch up to feeling like she's crossing the line.
It's tough because I feel like so much of my opinion's been dictated on where I thought they were headed with it to this point. I'm glad they've gotten here, but like for me, I feel like I have seen some of those little things, but again, it's tough to determine how much of my opinion's dictated by what I was expecting to see and looking for with little things, but now we are here. So.
And it's important. And then when she was confronted with what Fringy just said with, fault doesn't matter at this point. Like, what are you going to do about it, Queen of Westeros? And she walks out. She bails.
Yep.
What a loser.
Yeah, like just everything she's doing is wrong. So Daemon, like, another chance encounter. Just amazing. Daemon Targaryen is the lone gold cloak, and he runs into Ulf the White.
Also, yeah, I know this is borderline played for fucking just laughs, but like, dude, someone or someones are going around killing gold cloaks, and you're walking around in the armor with very obviously your silver white hair sort of thing. It's like you're a prized fucking kill, and they're already looking to kill City Watch people anyway. But like, the impression I got from this. Man, I think he would want to get them, but like, is there any kind of intelligent way could he at least get one other person shadowing him so that they can warn him, or they could, because like, fuck, he could have been taken out so easily. Like he expects to trap this one person. It's very, very obvious as far as I'm concerned. But what if they were laying a trap for him?
Yeah, he's lucky he's not so severely outnumbered, and only one guy decides.
Does he even? He doesn't even have a Dark Sister, does he?
No, yeah, just got a club. Looks like
got the normal gold cloak get up.
Of course, yeah. You'd be like, well, I'll give it away, but it's like, I'm just saying, borderline giving it away anyway. And then the person chasing him, they seem so fucking committed. I was quite surprised they couldn't tell who that is, like probably process elimination anyway, but also not tell that it was obviously going to be a trap.
It's tough because, I mean, even the gold cloak that he had the most conversation with was like an older man with white hair. So he is like, he did push all his hair up in there. So he's not like showing off his long mane of fucking hair. But I suppose it depends on how recognizable we think Daemon Targaryen would be like walking down the road in this world.
Well, like, doesn't the dude, as soon as he gets the front look at him, he says he's Daemon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, this cannot be a faceless man. Killed way too easily. Yeah, because he has a face. There you go.
So this is the guy that we saw sending the message to Otto.
Yep.
And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this guy a high tower guard that Alicent told to stand down up at the Scorpions?
I can't say I remember.
Right?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, we can double check that. That would be.
What episode is that? Rhaenyra Triumphant or some bullshit?
Episode
2.
Yes. Episode 2, okay. Queen's Landing, right?
Yeah. She landed.
She sure landed.
I'll look for it.
So this guy follows him, and Daemon kills him. And but before, he's like, how many of you are there? And he's like, we are many. You will never defeat us. And he stabs him in the ear. We see that little girl too. She notices.
Yeah. That's the one who we saw in the Red Keep earlier. She's Visaria's spy. I mean, I think. I don't know. That's my guess.
We have no number. We serve King Daeron Targaryen, and then he just dies.
And then, insane coincidence.
I loved how he killed him. Fucking that fucking knife they just shoved into his ear hole.
Yep. That's not a good way to go.
And this is that guy, by the way.
Okay.
So
good memory.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen real quick.
Sure.
So this is when they've like told the Scorpions to stand down and everything.
Yep.
And this is that dude right here.
There he is. And he took off his helmet just to go, Ryan will remember my face.
Yeah. He's got a weird looking face. But yeah, that's him.
That is definitely him. And now he's dead.
Well, maybe it was just the face of him, Gary.
Ooh. Maybe. Ooh, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The thing is, if he was a faceless man, he sounds like a rebellious he's fighting a rebellion for the people of Westeros. That's what this guy's name is. Like they're tired of this. But again, it's like our king's gonna be Daeron. So it's obviously like a high tower plot and push things out there. If he was a faceless man, I kind of think he just either wouldn't say anything or what. I don't know if he'd like play into that role if he was a faceless man. So I don't think the faceless men would be doing this because they believe that Daeron's going to be the good king and they're doing this for Westeros. I think they'd be doing it because they were paid to and they're giving the gift of death from the many-faced god.
Ulf not able to catch a break. Running into...
I wonder what they're setting up here.
Have consequences, but it's such a fucking unlikely. Like they hot. Ulf, what are you doing bumping into City Watch people anyway? Avoid them, right? You're undercover borderline.
Especially when there's only one to be avoided at the present moment.
Right.
Yeah. And then it also happens to be the worst fucking person you could possibly bump into.
I was really confused at first. I was really confused at first why Daemon just fucking bowled into that guy. I was like, what the fuck just happened? But I mean, Daemon embarrasses him and like puts his face in the dirt and it's like, you're a fucking worm, basically. Get back to the Red Keep.
Can't imagine what's going to come from that.
Yeah.
So pretty obvious by now.
Hugh the Hammer is waiting out to he basically carjacks this guy to go into Tumbleton to go visit his wife, who he finds pretty quickly. And that's when we find out that she's not very happy with him.
I hated that scene so much. It's just,
I mean, there's a scene before that, but we can just get through it. She confronts him, says, "You left us," and he's like, "I got this great gig. I'm flying dragons." She's like, "I need you on the ground. I needed you here."
She basically said, "I had to walk like." You left me to go to Dragonstone for this, and I had to come here myself, and I got raped on the fucking way here multiple times. And it's, it wouldn't be a House of the Dragon episode without a little bit of sexual assault.
Yep.
And here's a husband who's risked his life, done like so much to try and improve their lot. He literally is risking his life to find her and save her, reunite with her. And then she just throws it all in his face, and she's the total victim, and he's done everything wrong, and everything. It's just such a feminist scene. It's just
and then there's we noticed this when we're watching. There's she's screaming at him, and there's a guard. There's a high tower guard behind him at some point with the sword. And he just goes, there's nothing going on here. It's fine.
I totally believe that a high tower guard isn't going to give a fuck about this right now. Like
a woman getting assaulted? Probably not. Not in this show.
The thing that I thought was that they showed that. Like they showed the interest. So I was like, oh, and then they're like, no, he's gone. You're like, oh, okay. Because it's enough of a ruckus, but then it's also just.
I think he's aware. Like my get when I was watching, I was like, I think the point was just like he sees the guard there and he has to stop doing this. He can't just like carry her away, kind of thing. Yeah. But
and wasn't it her decision to leave the city because he expected to find her there?
Yep.
And then she's like blaming it all on him when
they were out of food in the city.
You know what you should have done is just been like, they're gonna melt this place. So
I would have probably brought that up.
He's literally there saving your life.
I'm here with a dragon, and I could get orders to burn this place down. Back to Ormond Hightower.
I like this scene a lot.
I love this scene.
Except for one specific line, but for the most part, I like it.
What's that one specific line?
It's when, and honestly, I think some of the people watching it may just be too dumb to know. Like when Gwaine is like, "They're assassins here to kill you and Darren." Like, I feel like it was so on the nose for people.
They'd already made it really on the nose with all the fucking cuts, all the expressions. It's like, I got it.
That felt like a producer's note.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't understand what was going on here. Could you do some ADR or something?
So they're eating, and then the Baratheons come in.
He's talking about Corlys Velaryon. There's a soundness to his breathing.
Yes.
Like, the way that Ormond views everyone is like just animals and dogs and just so beneath him. There's something I love about this character so much.
Yeah, like what he says here is effectively, you never want to raise any lowborn people any higher because they'll just have ambition to go further and you can't trust them. And so only work with the nobility is basically his, superiority complex coming through. It is perfectly consistent with his character.
So then the Baratheons come in and they stink. So he starts freaking out.
Well, that's what justifies he lets down his guard because he needs to get away from them. And so he's not looking at them close enough because of the stink, and he's putting distance between themselves.
And I think that, look, it's not spelled out in the show, but I think we have to credit Rhaenyra for this plan because she's like the only person that knows that he's sensitive to smells. And I believe that she had these assassins get as dirty and smelly and nasty as they could to throw him off. Now, that's not laid out in this. That's just kind of what my gut feeling is.
Is there a bit of irony there? Because
she's
feels
so stupid.
As though, well, there's that. But Ormond backs off, and it feels like Gawain has to take over for a bit. But because of that, he actually twigs on faster than he maybe would have. Because the thing is, these guys, you got real fucking close, lads, to the point where they could have just launched in, as in a second they got this far.
The reason they couldn't was because they didn't know who Daeron was.
I know, but they still could have, right? Like they could have. This room is nearly theirs already, and they're also in ambush. Like what they can do is, kill or take prisoner, and just but
they almost have the superior numbers. There's six. Yeah, there's 6 of them let in, and they're all armed.
I will say,
and armored.
It's a little like. The fight is just a little like fucking hell. That could have easily gone completely other ways.
It could have gone south.
It's like a little bit of old John Roxton with Widowmaker.
He fucks him up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He really fucks him up.
That's right. That is Widowmaker. And yeah, good thing Gawain knows that this Baratheon's better looking.
But they just were more suspicious. It's like, hey, buddy, come over here.
Yeah, they really fumbled it at the 11th hour.
They did. Like one of them went for their dagger or something a little too early.
Yeah, so like Ormond is like thrown off immediately. He like can barely speak. He has to back away. He's like clearing his throat. He's thrown off by how bad they fucking smell. And they're like, we just want to bend the knee to the one true king, Daeron Targaryen.
Could you please step a little closer?
They're like, oh shit, that's great. And you're like, can we be, where's the? And he's like, oh, the king's right here. And they're like, oh shit, this is the king. Can we have some alone time with the king? And they're like, what
this is what I mean. It's like the second it was clear if they had just fucking launched in.
And Gawain is like suspicious right away after he introduces himself as, I think, a son of Boris Baratheon or something.
Oh, I think he says cousin
maybe of Boris. And Gawain like gets kind of a look on his face like that doesn't make sense. He's like moving to kind of intercept, just grabs a fucking knife and slits his throat.
Yep.
And Ormond has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
John Roxton has no idea what's going on. Like they want him to stop Gawain from murdering Baratheons.
Yeah,
and
like
Gawain, And Gawain's like, no, they're fucking assassins sent to kill you and Daeron. And he goes ham.
Rolls the sword down like in half from like his gut all the way down. That one was cool. That was a cool move.
Yeah, like it was a very strong scene for Gawain, especially because he doesn't hesitate. He just comes. He knows.
Yep.
All right,
yeah, no, he's a lad.
And then
he's a lad.
Bam! Right.
That's from like. I don't think that Gawain does this if he hadn't just spent like a year dying with Kristen Cole.
Yeah.
Like,
he's been hardened. He knows how to fight, and
he's a changed man.
Kristen taught him that the whole world is filled with scumbags that you shouldn't trust.
Be ready for him. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's a cool element of Gawain, right? That he has like a desire to be chivalrous and
well, he is. is a decent person, very rare in Westeros, which is
in
like,
a very
all right,
indecent world.
yeah, like is now one of my more liked characters in the show. I wonder what will happen to him.
But I mean, he is like the Green Knight, like Gwaine, like based on it. That's the reference, is it? Like, was that what George R. R. Martin was going for?
Well, not in the book.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Because he dies like a bitch. But
Okay.
maybe here, maybe a little bit. Sir Arian Baratheon has hair of light chestnut, and he's more comely.
He's a half foot taller. Yeah. He's like knows what color his hair is, and he's far hotter. So Gwaine being gay
guys.
saved the day.
Yeah.
That's just a funny detail that I like. It's like, yep.
I will cleave that bitch from crown to cunt.
He's so mad.
As long as she
and then he does a lot
bad.
of vomiting as well, which
yeah,
I'm
then
all
he
for.
throws up. Yeah,
it's so funny. It's so reliably funny when it happens in South Park or in Jackass. I love it. It's so funny to me when people vomit, especially him.
Team America has a good vomiting scene.
Yeah, it does. Get out of the street, you fucking bum! You gave up on life, didn't you?
So we talked about this already, and then we have.
He gives a small bit of credit to Gwaine. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you did all right.
He's
Like,
all
for a
good
little
job.
queer, you're pretty good. You know, like, basically what Armin's saying.
For a gay boy, you
and,
did all right.
and like Gwaine's calling him out a little bit on, like, you know, not that Darren really matters to you. You kind of just want this power, but like, tell me what the plan is. And right as Ormond's like, all right, you want to know the plan? I'll tell you the plan. Cut. You know, like that's kind of what they did.
Yep. Very soap opera. But they discuss Helena, God, Alicent and Rhaenyra. There's so many of these scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, kill me, don't kill me, stop keeping me prisoner. I'm tired of this, blah, blah, blah. And this is where she tells Rhaenyra that, I know where Aemon is because my daughter sewed a quilt that shows he's at Harrenhal because she's a dragon dreamer. And
she's like, she has thoughts or feelings or weird things, and sometimes they come true. And Rhaenyra immediately is like, she's a dragon dreamer. She has like prophetic dreams. Like, so that's very important information to her, especially with what she's dealing with right now. And I mean, we did have the scene earlier where the prophecy was actually brought up, and then Rhaenyra specifically mentions that, you know, my father wouldn't want us to do this, and Daemon's kind of pissed that she says that. And then one thing we didn't point out in the throne room sequence when she cut her hand was she looked up at the statue of Viserys that is hanging over the Great Hall there.
Yeah.
You know, all those thoughts running through her head. And now she knows that she has potentially someone that could tell her prophecies in the future right in the same Red Keep.
Yes.
But yeah, Alicent is a fucking moron again in this scene. She gives away like everything, and basically it's kind of funny trying to spend another chip to get herself in any kind of safety, and just basically fucks herself over worse than ever.
Yes, because Rhaenyra, who just believed, I mean, okay, there are dreamers, and she brings up oh my God, Ryan, the dreamer from
Daenerys the Dreamer.
Daenerys the Dreamer. Thank you.
The one who dreamed about the doom of Lyria.
But she picks up on it pretty quick, and then she's like, I got a great plan. We're gonna draw Aemond out. He's laying low right now. We're gonna draw him out. We're not gonna send a bunch of swords. We're gonna send one sword and somebody he trusts. And it's like,
this is a terrible idea.
Doing? So they're sending Alicent the prisoner, the hostage. That is a very valuable hostage, just out with a couple of swords to go draw out Aemon. I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
So
He's definitely not going to.
in the meantime, in the book, she's held captive, and it's Mushroom's tale that Helena and Allison are basically whored out. Now, I don't know if you can always believe Mushroom, but as I have read Fire and Blood, I always just choose to believe the Mushroom tales because they're better, they're funnier. So yeah, they're just fucking forcing her in so many places. It doesn't make any sense. This plan it's so stupid. But yep, and they get right to it, guys. They just go, okay, we're gonna do this plan. Oh, here we go. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Just wait for me, Helena. I'll be back.
After I kill Aemond, like
Yeah.
After I kill your brother. I'm working for the woman.
I did like this sequence with Helena where she's asking. I think that Helena can feel her death is near.
Yeah.
And that's why she's finally confronting and talking to her mother about some of these things, about the lies she's telling her. This is when she's asking, like, was there no one else that wanted me? Was there no other lord that you could have married me? Or like, were you the one that wanted me to marry my brother? And Allison says, well, it was actually your grandfather, Otto's idea, but I didn't push back. I didn't begrudge it. I figured better you be here with me than with a stranger far away, blah, blah, blah. And obviously that hasn't been super helpful to Helena having her mother there.
But I think you're right. She knows when her ending is coming, and we'll see. Sorry, everybody in this book dies at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care anymore about like spoilers myself.
I think Shad might. I don't know.
Nah, I expect everyone's going to die. So
Otto told us.
It's not, for me, it's not that. It's that I don't care anymore. Like finding it out.
Yeah, that's also kind of where I'm at. There's not really any characters to care about. That's one of the problems the show's finding for me, at least. Apart from all the other issues, of course.
Rhaenyra finally visits her son, who's been home for, a couple days now. And I'm forgetting this. Oh, yes. Okay.
What the fuck?
What the fuck was this scene? So the Valyrian men are done, I guess, mopping up the Triarchy and singing songs, and Corlys is like, you've done great work, but now we need you to protect the city, to protect King's Landing. Our queen needs us, and I guess she needs me too. And then everybody takes off, and I guess he was just standing there by himself for a long time.
I think he went. I don't think everyone took off. I think he stepped away from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he stepped away after he was done talking to them. And you see a couple shadows, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, and you see bold John Roxton.
Yeah.
How did they find where he was hanging out?
I don't know.
And how did he get here?
Yeah,
All of it is so dissatisfying. It's
that's a teleportation.
That is a teleportation. Remember, the army's taken all this time to get down to King's Landing, but man, he just popped right on over, caught a flight.
This would be, we just saw him in Tumbleton.
Yeah.
Which isn't, that far away from King's Landing, but it's like relatively close to King's Landing actually, but I don't know what to make of this. Like, I think that Corlys is being kidnapped and not murdered.
Yep.
But I don't actually know if he's not being murdered. I guess he could be murdered right now, which would be crazy.
Because like right around his neck, they showed him getting choked.
Yeah.
It's just like Sunfire to me. They wouldn't put this much effort into not showing an explicit death unless it wasn't an explicit death.
And
yeah, no way, he's fine.
Somebody just said it in the chat. The thing that I'm thinking right now is what that person is saying is like, is faceless man. Like, I don't know how John Roxton got there, and he also never spoke or anything. The episode is titled Faceless Men. Can you have a face of somebody that's not dead? Like, something's fucking going on that I do not understand.
Yep.
You know?
This is a very random scene. So Corlys gets either abducted or killed. I'm pretty sure it's just abducted.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is weird that he doesn't say anything. He just kind of stares.
Does he have a sword on him?
I didn't think a faceless man could use a face of somebody alive. You kind of need the dead face.
We're assuming it's not John Roxon just because it would be insane if it were.
Well,
I think that would
the
be
show
a
has
bad
made the show's made big enough mistakes for them to just
I mean, I guess you can say that, okay, enough time's passed. What's it take to get from, Tumbleton to King's Landing? Couple days.
The problem is you just had Hugh's bitch wife complain about how long the road was from King's Landing to Tumbleton in this episode. Now, to be fair, these gentlemen could probably have had horses, and it would have been a way easier thing. We don't know the passage of time, but
the other thing that I mentioned, how did they know where he was? He's been on the move regularly, fighting the Triarchy people, not down in one location. And then he's just randomly camping, ready to go back, and they knew exactly where he was, so much so that they could lure him out in a trap. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So maybe it probably is John Roxton. I do like the idea of faceless men being in it, though.
I know.
That'd be cool.
I will say we skipped over it briefly, but Ormond did compliment Corlys Velaryon by saying, basically this dumb bitch Rhaenyra made like one random good decision, shockingly, by making Corlys her hand. Whether that was actually a good decision, I don't know, because he hasn't done much. But he was very complimentary of Corlys Velaryon. So it would make sense that he would want to kill him or potentially kidnap him for something.
It must be a kidnapping. It must be. Which, we'll see what
it looked like a garrote.
It did, but the problem is, there's just the way that was framed. Like, that would be insane if he was dead. That would be crazy. So I don't think they're that crazy, even with all of the wacky decisions they've made so far. He's got to be alive.
Yeah. They would show him being dead. They would show the act of him being killed.
Yeah,
if they were going to do it. You can't put it out.
They did cut away from Stannis in Game of Thrones. That shit.
And a lot of people didn't think he was dead for a while.
Ages. People were like, I think he might still come back.
People cling on to anything if you don't show it definitively and conclusively.
God, they did Stannis so fucking dirty in that show. God.
Yeah, they did.
Ugh. But that's the end of both episodes. Wow. There are way too many forced Alicent Rhaenyra scenes, anytime the White Worm's on screen, that's forced. It's terrible. That woman has way too much power. She's not very smart, not very well acted.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
well written.
It's all of the same problems compounded, and I've kind of lost my investment and passion. I'm mostly just curious about a couple of things.
Yep.
They just took it too far, man. But it doesn't mean that there's nothing fun or nothing meaningful in the show. I like Cole's ending,
And on a surface level, I think a lot of normies are still just going to enjoy it. It's like, look, I still enjoy seeing how well the medieval kind of world is being depicted. I like swords, I like dragons, castles and things. And on a very surface level, I think there's enough that could keep people around. But this this last episode, especially with that stupid scene with the wife, it's ruining.
Yeah, I think the ratings are good for the show still. I think it's holding up pretty good. So, yeah, and they're getting their 4th season, and we're heading towards the Battle of Tumbleton, what do you think, Ryan? Next episode or final episode?
Fuck, man. I thought it was going to be this episode.
Yeah.
Probably next, right? With the way they usually do things.
Possibly next, you would imagine something. We've had a lot of build up in these couple episodes. And that's not to say that nothing's happened. Things have happened, and we've gotten closer. And so things I've enjoyed over the past couple, Aegon Larys and now Lannister, that combo I've enjoyed for the most part. Sunfire has to return eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That might happen next episode, I think, as well. I've like basically all the Hightower stuff, all the stuff surrounding Ormond and Gwaine and Darren. I'm enjoying. Parts of like the Ulf and Hughes stuff. I didn't like what Hughes' experience was with his wife in this one. I hated that fucking shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like half the stuff that we're focused on I enjoy, and I think it's interesting. And whenever I see Matt Smith on screen, I like it, even if I'm frustrated by some things, 'cause he's just charismatic. But then about half of it, you're like ready to get on to the next fucking thing. I do think that when it comes to, I think when it comes to the portrayal of the two female protagonists in this show, in Allison and Rhaenyra, protagonist, if that's even a word you can use in this show because it switches all the time. I do think we're continuing to see them pile on the negative traits for both of these women in a big way. And I think it's reinforced like every episode super heavily with Allison these last couple. And now I think you're starting to see it with Rhaenyra.
Yep. We're going to get to the people if anybody needs to bail out.
My kids are about to get home from school, and so I'm going to have to bounce, gentlemen.
Thank you, Shad.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I love talking about this stuff. It's been great, and I'll see you on FNT and next week.
See you on FNT and next week for, I think, the Battle of Tumbleton. I think they'll do the typical thing of having the big battle in the penultimate episode, and then they'll mop it up. Get ready for the final season.
All right, guys. Cheers. Okay.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna get out of here too. I want to. This is what I want. I want the I want to see the caterpillar in a cocoon next episode, and I want to see it emerge as a toxic butterfly and like land on somebody's face and kill them, and then Helena like is trying to follow it out the window. Like that's what I, toxic butterflies. That's what I want to see. But, all right, thanks for having me, guys. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back. Thanks, Ryan.
Yep. Bye.
See you later.
Have fun on Daily tomorrow. We'll get to the people. I've been a defender of this season because I would like the world, because I like the world, and just decided to look past some of the faults. But this episode, I was just bored. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, there's just fewer and fewer scenes where when it starts up that I'm like, ooh, it's more like, oh.
This season in particular has been pretty ruthless with getting rid of the characters that I'm most invested
in,
and sort of diminishing how invested I am in the ones that weren't as high on that list anyway.
I will give them the credit that both the endings for Otto and Cole didn't ruin the characters for me.
No.
So there's that.
There you go. Thanks, Mad Dog, by the way. Rye Bread for $19.99. What the fuck is the point anymore? It's a drama of Rhaenyra and Alicent, other characters diluted. Mysaria is insufferable twat. I thought this season would be action-packed with battles and development. There's no pacing or plot. You notice George's absence. You just do. Now the season probably would have gone 10 seasons with him here, but I noticed it. It's a mess. It's a bit of a mess. Killjoy for $5 says they just threw this book right into the wood chipper. Yes, they did. It is gone, especially with that Corliss stuff towards the end. That was nuts. Hugh Hammer, you can do better, buddy. It's Westeros. This show is aggressively mid. Definitely disliked more than I liked, but some scenes were good. No idea how Alicent and Mysaria still have their head. I don't either.
Alicent is because she's actress's main character, so they got to keep.
They must have locked that shit in season 1. Like, she's going to be in the whole thing. She's going to have plenty of screen time, and you can have,
Even though this universe has a reputation for like main characters dying.
Well, she has been a hanger-on now for fucking ages. With every scene they put extra staples in because of how much she's trying to rip herself off and just leave the show, narratively speaking, right? Like, oh, it is so like artificial her being here. And I say that I like the actress, I do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
B Quinn RN for $4.99. Good question. So we are to believe the faceless men were hired to kill the gold cloaks and Corliss? That's dumb, because why not just hire them to kill Rhaenyra? Well, that would end the show earlier, but man, we need to get that. I can't even say it's a deep cut. Member burying. I think I like the idea of it, but I don't think it was them. I feel like they're going to have to have this lead into Game of Thrones remake. They're making Harrenhal more important, and that's where the war for the Dawn should end.
I really don't believe they're going to be remaking Game of Thrones before doing way more TV shows like Robert's Rebellion,
I'd say
Aegon's Conquest, that sort of shit.
That would be happening in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, and they'll definitely remake it at some point. But yeah,
well, I can totally believe it'll happen.
Yeah.
It's just not right now. We got plenty of other shit for them to do.
Why is Rhaenyra sending an invaluable hostage to go assassinate Aemon with 5 random nobodies? We saw him kill several assassins easy last episode. Nolan Davis.
We almost didn't even spend that much time on that other than saying, what a fucking stupid move.
Yeah.
Anyway, like,
it's just dumb. You know it's going to go sideways, and well, she's going to have to get caught again.
She's borderline like a cartoon supervillain, the sort of brain blast of, I know, I'll send you. And it's just like, what do you do? Like, such a bad idea. But okay.
How did that guy get?
What do you think is the result of that? What do you think they're going to do?
Man.
Because she'll get there by the next fucking episode, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Just teleport instantly. Why not?
I don't think she makes it.
Allison or
Allison?
Like she gets kidnapped or killed? They wouldn't. They're going to keep her in for 4 seasons.
Well, I've seen the preview. She definitely makes it.
Oh, okay. So she makes it.
Definitely, yeah.
She's at Harrenhal already.
And in the preview, it looks like she's in Harrenhal. Yeah.
I'm surprised she's not just in Essos next episode. Like, fuck it.
So she makes it. Oh my God. I have no idea. She's going to talk to Aemon, and Aemon's not going to want to leave.
That's going to be a real good scene.
Is she going to meet Alice Rivers? Do you see her with Alice Rivers, Fringy, in the preview?
Oh, well, I need to watch it again if I want to get those fine details. I like, you know, at this point, it's just whatever happens, you know, I guess that's what's going to happen. I'm not like scanning all of this diligently to find out, you know, exactly what's going to happen.
All good. Griff Nizzle for 20. Thank you. How did that guy get from Tumbleton in one scene and just magically teleport to Corliss's exact position that very night? Do all of these fuckers have a TARDIS? Yes.
Yeah, this goes beyond the Westeros Express, you know.
You know, and that was a problem that they acknowledged and said, we won't be doing stuff like that. The Kindly Man for 10 Canadian pesos says, this show seems super dedicated to ensuring that Daron and the Daring never gets to do anything at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Ulf's wife ends up being the one who eventually rides to Syrian instead. Did Allison say the baby was Aemon? Aemon's not Aegon? Aegon's? I don't remember that.
I don't remember if she said who's. Well, so the kid was mentioned, and then like Aemon was mentioned afterward. But I don't think it was like it was just like a mention in general. I don't think she meant, even though that's, you know, yeah.
It could have been insinuated. I mean, I have no idea. Hugh's wife scene reminded me of Cooper's Mexican girlfriend in Lamb Man. I have all this power and money now, but I never asked for it. That's true, Mad Dog. Yes. I don't want all this money and security. I'll say this for the show that's devoted into feminist power. It's accidentally based on women. How crazy bitch Helena is the only decent woman in the whole show is almost astonishing. Thank you, Griff Nizzle, for 20. Yeah, they're not making a great case. And
no, I mean, if overall it is about like a lot of women in power, the only conclusion you could have for the show is like never put women in power.
Yep. Even with the end of Game of Thrones season 8, for sure.
Yeah.
Taylor Jones for 20 says, I will have no songs of how bravely you died, Kingmaker.
Yeah.
I have waited 3 seasons to hear this line, and they just didn't say it as if it was some rogue archer who killed him.
Yeah, they definitely fucked that up because people who haven't read anything to have no idea who that was.
Yeah, it's just like, some random lady just that I have no idea who she is, killed him.
Snacks for $5 off topic, but what are Shad's thoughts on Rings of Power's Balrog getting pegged?
Huh. What a great trailer that was, huh?
Jesus,
gets you really excited for more adventures in their version of Middle Earth.
I think my favorite part was at Comic-Con. Mahler showed me the picture of Sauron's throne is melted down elven helmets.
It's so blatant, man.
Oh,
that's pathetic. Our throne is cooler. We have helmets.
I mean, how is that not entirely Kylo Ren puts his helmet on the ashes of his enemies?
Yep.
Energy.
And yeah, just aping Lord of the Rings, aping Game of Thrones is sacrilege. It's so insanely cringe. Harrenhal is turning into Castle Anthrax. Jake Skywalker.
It's also just apparently the castle filled with portals that everyone has access to.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just want Roddy to act someone on screen. Why even hire him? Another one-line Northern warrior, Jon Snow.
When you can tell he's so ready to be into the role in that way. Let him have a scene where he gets splattered with blood and kills a bunch of people. Why not?
Well, because you need another scene with Alicent and Rhaenyra, Mahler.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then you don't let Roddy say the line, why hire that dude? Come on. It's kind of a waste. Not
though if they're talking about the coal line, that's the thing. I don't think it works in this version anymore because it seems like like the coal they've built. I think that's why it's not there.
Yeah, I agree. They probably said, it doesn't match in any way. Avatar 1881 for 100 Ron says, oh God, I was so bored. I had to watch both episodes at 8 times speed. Wow, that's fast. Give me dragons, damn it. Also, are you guys excited for Rings of Power season 3? God, I miss laughing at that show. Your EFAPs got me through late night shifts, so thank you.
I'm sure the whole machine is getting ready for the biggest fans of that show are the ones that can't wait to break down how wrong it is. All right. Because no one else is left.
No,
they barely even generated a fan in the first place to lose,
The showrunners came out and said, you don't need to watch season 1 and 2.
So funny, dude.
That is hilarious. Lady Massaria is fucking insufferable.
Yes.
We agree. Thank you.
I'm a day one Massaria hater now, retroactively.
From Jump Street, the Ali San. Thank you for the 2 Rons. Catzilla 773 for $19.99. This girly is totally disgusted with all the female characters in this terrible show. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of the world is saying about it.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's a lot of them that have no idea where it's going to.
Yeah. No. Mostly the book readers are like, we're way the fuck out here. So, yeah, I think a lot of people will be glad Cole is gone. I am not.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to go, but
yeah, I mean, to an extent, his story had come to an end. There's not much.
But nevertheless, it's a character that I was interested in where I don't get any scenes to break up the monotony.
It's what was said about Otto. Like, if you're going to fuck with the source so much, why not, 1, keep him in most of season 2? Why not? Just do it. And then, of course, in season 3, it's like, well, you still behead him then? And he's like, well, yeah, but you don't even have to do it immediately. You could have a few more scenes of him in the black cells with talking to Damon or whatever have you, but I'm just saying, he was a really good actor. You might want to,
use him.
Yeah.
Need more Rhaenyra and Alicent though. Ecats 81 for $5. Hugh's wife is an ungrateful fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. The reason Ormond's infiltration of King's Landing is that they want a man to be responsible for the small folk rising up on Rhaenyra rather than her just being a bad ruler and being hated by them. I hate Kevin Feige for $10. Maybe, but God, Ormond being added to the show is, imagine if he wasn't in it. I wouldn't be surprised about that, but there's also, without spoiling, there's a big element that hasn't been set up yet. And it kind of needed to be this season because it's going to feel really rushed towards the last. And I guess, and it has something to do with the faith, right? So I guess you could say her little conversation with, God, I forgot his name.
Priesty Jones.
That's it. Set it up, maybe. Flummox Buffoon for $19.99. Alan got it in. Woo! Alice Rivers took Eamon's non-family reunion V card. It is also insinuated that Mr. Ray Pittler, that rascal, escorted Hugh's wife to Tumbleton from King's Landing. 3 out of 3 win. Let's go. We're back, baby. Old Ray Pittler. God damn it. Is anything going to happen in the show? I think next week.
Yeah.
Next week you get a big old battle.
Well, Frank, you watched the promo just now. Does it look like there's a battle?
Not really. No. I don't know what that means. Maybe they will save it for
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be the episode. There's no real telling.
Hey, we might get another episode of setup. You excited?
Hell yeah.
I'm using that as a pickup line. Ooh, what's that? Is what I misspoke earlier.
Are you picking down what I'm putting up or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great dude. You will get laid on that. Okay. You will find the woman of your dreams. R.I.P. the Kingmaker, killed by a cowardly Blackwood. Like I said earlier, I ain't gonna back up Black Alley at all. Gassed up. Great video, guys. That they did a video on the power rankings of non-dragon fighters in House of the Dragon. Cole was S tier.
Is Cole, before he died, obviously, like the greatest living swordsman out of who's there, or how does he fare against who's like second?
Second on their list. I have to
Aemond
go back and look. Aemond. I'm gonna have to go look now. Give me a moment. There we go.
And I'm not saying all time, just who's currently alive. That's what I mean.
I think it's kind of up for grabs. Cole is like heads above the rest. Here, sorry. There we go. Let's get back. So Roddy the Ruin is A tier, and so is Damon. And then the Cargill twins, Stark. Oh my God. You have Black Alley down at D with Ormond. With Ormond. So yeah, it's Roddy the Ruin. But go watch the video. How dare you, Gary? Lucas finished his 6th book and his stories. Lucas, what's that in reference to? Must have been something I said earlier. Roundira the Cruel for $4.99. Hello from Korea. Hopefully South Korea. I haven't watched it yet, but I hope it was better than last. I just really need it to be good. At least we still have Night of the Seven Kingdoms, season 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Can't mess with that. Such a great show. The coastline Rook's Rest is a believable place for Thailand to reach, but Rook's Rest specifically is Loras that bad at hiding Aegon? What the fuck?
It's just so convenient. So coincidental.
The more they add Alicent to the show, the shittier a person she is. Yes,
yeah, they can't survive this. She can't survive their writing.
She is a terrible person. I have no songs about how brave you died, Kingmaker. There's tens of thousands of dead on your account. Can't believe they cut that line.
I can though. Like it's just the way they built Cole up. The line probably just didn't work.
If Helena had some Valerian heritage, she could have been cast as Helena of Detroit. Helena of Detroit. I get that. I understand that reference. I was so hyped for the opening scene. Even the dialogue was basically word for word. Then they don't even show the butchery and basically go directly to the next scene. It made the scene so weightless. Says T Cuddles for $9.99. They have cut out a lot of battles, including the fish feed, right? They're not huge scale. And you could tell like these 2 episodes were the makeup for the Battle of the Gullet. It's like, oh, we'll put in a couple of dragons for a second. Then it's going to be a lot of people talking in rooms. I had a feeling Black Alley was going to kill Cole after they cut the Battle of the Burning Mill last season. Rest in peace, Sir Blackpill. Black Alley is the only good Blackwood. Bracken's greater than Black. No. Slade Law. No. Hail House Blackwood. So Kristen was in X Games mode with that flail. I like that. I don't know how realistic it was. Didn't care. Seeing people.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, heads getting blown off was funny. This season has handed out 2 Boromirs so far. Any chance for a hat trick? No.
Well, they're talking about Otto and Cole.
Well, no, people
does
getting
someone else get
arrowed down. Well, Jace and
oh yeah, of course.
Jace and Kristen Cole.
Episode 1, right?
Yeah,
long time ago.
That was a long time ago. The Great Toki for $5. Well, maybe, you never know. Fringy's jovial laughter is the only thing that brings me joy in life. Hail to the panel and all. He had some while we were watching it too. It was pretty funny. Jasper Lane for 20 says, I don't think I can handle the show much more. I know there was only 2 episodes left, but even the fire to talk shit about the show is turning into an ember. Ooh, we had conversations about like, I know we all kind of checked out of the show at the same time. We're like, we're just kind of seeing it through now. I don't know about engagement. It's it's every bad thing from season 2 has I've said it before, has metastasized into a horrible cancer of storytelling.
Yeah.
Praise be to the 7 who are one, the only true God. Let the wicked tremble, our hilts hurt. 7 simps. That's what they are. Each episode is getting dumber and dumber. I cannot argue with that. Thank you, Pearl Cab, for the $2. Mark Hancock has donated $10. Doesn't say anything. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Then we have Proteron for 10 New Zealand pesos. Says, I have no real knowledge of the source material, but I'd bet that Cannibal will take the place of Sunfire to do the thing later. Probably horribly wrong, but without solid confirmation on Sunfire being alive.
Sunfire's alive.
Sunfire's alive.
99% sure.
Yep. Make the bad woman fly. Nolan Davis. They made somebody fly.
Mm-hmm.
The show has done a good job on Sir Gawain. The Baratheon assassin scene was the first time in ages I actually felt nervous for a character. Lampshades on fire for $5. Well, he took him out. Sir Gawain. Allison hit Helena with the "Your body, my choice." Yes, she did. Lampshades on fire. Thank you. What was the image Helena was knitting? It was Aemond One Eye in the God's Eye, basically.
Yeah, but like fetal position almost.
Fetal position, yeah. Her father wasn't a wartime king, and she just like him is soft and full of indecision. Yes. I mean, she kind of is. But Viserys was a little better with his caution. Wasn't a great king, but, you know, we liked him. Zoink for $5 says, hello, can you maybe watch the boiled one? My dad is a big fan. What's the boiled one?
I don't know.
Is that a real thing? Am I going to be looking up a porn? Like, I don't know. What am I doing here?
Oh, maybe a torture video. Maybe both.
Okay, what is it? The boiled one is a titular antagonist of the 2024 analog horror short, The Boiled One phenomenon. Did you make it? That's all I ask. I've never heard of it, but it's short, so I can watch it. Just watched it. At least it was better than last, says Roundira the Cruel for $1.99. Was this last episode better than the previous, guys? What's your opinion?
Blended a bit those last two for me. So I think Ryan had said like they kind of work together well, I guess.
Yeah, I echo that.
Throttle for €2 says hello from Athens, Greece. Hail Greece to my friends and company. I want to go to Greece.
Cool.
It's all greasy though.
I don't think that's correct.
What?
That it's greasy.
Why do you think that?
Which kind of greasy are you referring to?
Ah, therein lies the issue. Because I think I'm referring to the one that makes me correct.
Which one is that?
It would be filled with Greek people.
Yes.
Very greasy.
I see. Okay.
We better be getting something fulfilling next week. This season has been an incoherent feminist fueled slog. Every writer on this show needs to be clockwork oranged with the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones. I think we're past that though, Corvo, unfortunately. And I don't think Dan and Dave are talking to anybody. I think it was Ira Parker was like, "Oh, I almost talked to Benioff, but we never found the time." Allison and Rhaenyra's relationship should have been like a war between two Cersei Lannisters, not this fan fiction slop. Yeah, if you're going to change it, amp it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they really want to make them sympathetic.
Yes.
Why are you guys so negative? Always nitpicking.
Are they new here or?
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of what we always do.
What was the profile image the FIFA president? like
bringing a nitpicking
with with a little bottle of milk. I just processed that just as it disappeared on screen.
Thank you for the super chat.
Opinions on the World Cup.
We will be nitpicking. Do we actually know how many seasons they are doing? Yes, 4. The Sane Goon 4. Thank you for the $4.99. Next season's the last season. Now, my guess is they'll announce another show outside of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I thought they even threw out the idea that House of the Dragon might be an anthology show. So they do.
What would that look like?
Well, it will be like just still call it House of the Dragon, but it would just be jumping around times, telling Targaryen stories. You could even throw Robert's Rebellion in that. I mean, that'd be the fall of the House of the Dragon. So I don't know.
I think Robert's Rebellion they'll go full effort on, because they'll see it as nostalgia for Game of Thrones. It's like, oh, your favorite characters are back, just young.
Jaria Lama for $2. The mountain that rides versus the weakest dragon. He crushes it in his hands because the weakest dragon's like very tiny. House Stark has got to be the most popular house in George World. Insane Goom. Well, maybe not very popular here. Not seeing a lot of Northerners. They show up at places, raise their axes, and go, okay, battle done. Thanks. What was the point of the last scene in episode 5, Alicent finding that hidden area, only to be found almost immediately in the next episode?
Well, the lantern dropped or whatever, right? It was like, oh my God, it's game over.
Yeah. And I'm like, did somebody die? What happened there?
So I guess because they told us like you were found, and then it was like, wow, you were found trying to escape. You've betrayed me. I am betrayed.
More unneeded tension. Yeah, a little forced. A little bit. Got 2 more guys. We need people who can write, not see vibes, says Dog Lover for 40. Oh, it's vibes, man. It's all about vibes. I'm sure we could all chip in and just remake this shit completely ourselves and redo season 8 while we're at it. Well, be careful what you wish for, because I think they're going to redo the whole damn show in 20 years. That's what I think. Wasn't there a trailer where Alicent was down in Rhaenyra's muff?
What, really?
I missed that.
I mean, we hopefully they can send us this trailer. We got to analyze it.
I'm thinking that's something we might have noticed. Oh my God! I've killed your son. I've killed your sons. Go down on me. Okay. It's House of the Dragon. All right, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Mahler, what do you got coming up?
Spider-Man. Also, we're dropping some. We did record some Rings of Power and Lanterns and Clayface trailer reactions. I'm popping them out on Moolah if you want to see them. We're trying to do more of them, I guess, sometimes when we can. But
yeah, when you can.
Other than that, Halo stuff. It's all about Halo. Halo bad.
That is your life right now. Yeah, that is I don't know what it's about. You got me up to speed, but it's like it just looks like a shitstorm.
Yeah, it's the same as Star Wars, basically. It's a series that was great for a time, but then it was never allowed to die, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And now you've got a studio that's in charge that just has no idea what to do. They have no idea.
A real conversation to be had for a lot of people, that the concept of a story ending or
and this, I'm hoping this can help, because there's that one tweet where someone's like, oh, there's, all this complaining, Halo fans are the worst, if you had it your way, it would end. It's like, yeah, that's what I want. I want it to end.
Well, the thing, it's not like
to continue like this.
Me and Gary trying to do those Buffy Angel streams. It's like, yeah, I bet you guys wish you could have another 5 seasons of Angel. It's like, you know what? It's okay. It's absolutely been wonderful this whole time that it came to an end. It's okay. Firefly is like an interesting conversation. There are other stories that have been cut short, but there's also ones that are just like, God, I wish it fucking ended. And then there's stuff like Doctor Who or James Bond, where it never needed to end because it's built such that it's like a great platform for all kinds of creative people to be able to tell different tales, but remixing styles and stuff. They both got butchered to hell and back. Basically, what I'm saying is, yeah, all different versions exist, but not everything needs to be an infinite franchise.
No, especially when you're dealing with a game that gave itself a pretty definitive ending for its main character, as well as a very nice full circle ending with its final installment by the original creators, only for it to be continued. Oh, remember when there was meant to be a trilogy, a Reclaimer trilogy? That's hilarious. There's nothing. Sorry.
I like how Gary's probably like, oh, Mola knows what that means. And I'm sitting here like, nope.
No. It was because when they made Halo 4, they pitched it as they had a trilogy that was planned out. And then eventually it became the Reclaimer Saga. And now we're in a position where there were 3 main games that they made that like do not connect well to each other at all because they changed their mind a lot because they didn't know what to do. Because they don't know how to respond to the fans' feedback, and they clearly don't really agree with it. I think that's like very obvious that they don't agree with the fan feedback. It's the reason why they keep trying to find ways to incorporate sprints, and it's hilarious that this game is the worst that it's ever been in a Halo game. This is the worst sprints ever. You can just run past everything. Right?
Yep.
Gary, you agree? You agree on the
totally
sprint?
Agree.
Sprint topic? Yes.
When you guys said it's a tale as old as time, it's what we've seen in entertainment. I'm like, I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the sad part as well is that the original studio that made it is pretty much being gutted right now. Like, Bungie's not doing well themselves, so everything's collapsing. The AAA gaming industry is such an exciting place right now. It's just everything is falling apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun. How about you, Fringy? What are you doing?
Well, yeah, it's Halo stuff mainly. My new video came out last week. Halo is an awful show, part 1 of 3. It's 2 hours long. Go check it out. It's talking about that show and how much I hate it. At least the first season. Second season coming soon. And yeah, it's a lot of Halo stuff. Streaming Halo. Halo EFAP TVs are coming out for season 2. And yeah, Spider-Man is coming out, which means I need to rapidly rewatch these Spider-Man movies here. But that's me. That's what I'm working on.
Right there with you on that. I got a cram for that. We have a couple here. Last chance, watch He-Man. It's fun. I've watched He-Man. I did. We talked about it on FNT. A lot of people like it. I
thought it wasn't good. I like to remind people of that every now and then. I saw that in theaters. It was not good.
And then Buffy this week. Well, it's Spider-Man week.
Yes.
What are you up to on Buffy?
Yes.
Beginning season 3.
We're at season 3. We might have to play with the time a little bit. I'll talk to you, Mahler, because I got to see Spider-Man Wednesday night. But
okay, yeah.
If we do it like a little earlier, maybe.
Listen, the people who check out the Buffy and Angel streams, you just got to know it's finicky. Okay, me and Gary are doing what we can, but we can barely promise that they'll definitely exist. Like they will exist eventually, for sure. Eventually, as to exactly when, it's just a complicated process. That's all.
It is, yeah. I got tickets to a fan screening, so I could see it a little early.
So, your Wednesday night is like my Thursday morning, and that's when I'm seeing it. This is the benefits of the perks of being the first country, and New Zealand on the good old day.
Yep,
I get to see it super early. I'm not that excited at all, really, for it. I hope it's not terrible.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think there's a chance it could be good. There's a chance.
Yeah, there is a chance. I would say more so than I love that the fact that it's Sony means that it has a chance when their other movies are so bad.
I know.
But I do believe that the fact that it's not wholly a Marvel Studios thing actually gives it a chance of being maybe worthwhile.
But thank you very much, Griff Nizzle. Enjoy Stargate, Gary. I will, Matthew. When I have time to break it out, I will absolutely watch it. And I've been having fun watching it. Show Gary the Halo U-Hauler. What is that?
I'm not sure. What is that?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that is. Is it a
oh, do you mean because I think I feel like because in Reach there are a bunch of different like vehicles that are like non-military. No, that can't be what you're talking about, that you can drive like a truck in Halo Reach. I don't know what that means exactly.
We are tired. I'll put that in there.
Yeah, we are really tired. We're all really tired.
I woke up to watch F1.
Yeah.
That was miserable. So it's like, yeah, Halo's happening. They wake up, and then fucking Oscar Piastri gets his race ruined by Carlos Sainz. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And then go back to sleep. Wake up, react to Lanterns trailer and Rings of Power. It's really tough times, man.
God, that Lanterns trailer, don't get me started. All right. Guys, thanks for coming on. Thanks for staying on this long. Thanks to Ryan and Shad. We'll be back next week. 2 more episodes to go, and we'll see if it's more Allison and Rhaenyra. Well, they won't be together. So they're separating them. So
Finally.
Thank God. But that'll mean more Myseri and Rhaenyra.
Yes.
So that's bad. But thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to all the participants. Thanks to all the lurkers. And again, thanks to my co-hosts. We will see you next time. Ciao.
Catch you later, lad. Bye-bye.
Bye.